Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. My name is Katie and today is July 20th, 2024 and we are getting into sewing for Omatsuri and for Knit City because Knit City is way too close. I also just realized that I need elastic. Damn it. Okay, I'll be right back. I need the black fold over elastic that's upstairs, so BRB. Haha, joke's on me today. Okay, I think that should be everything that I need to go upstairs for now. This was stuff that I had actually kind of donated to the children because I was like, well, it's not good for the project that I wanted it for. But now it's good for this project, and this is why, even if the supplies don't look exactly right sometimes, we keep them around, although apparently not long enough. We are going to work with the spaghetti monster that is the Velcro here and get, I think, so we got two projects that are small that we're going to work on first, and one of them is card wallets, and then the other one of them is luggage handles, like this. And so I think we're going to start with the luggage handles because I've already sewn them. They're really super simple, and I want to get them done. I do have to trim the Velcro for them though, and then we'll trim the elastic for the pouches. Okay, so I think those are all. Now the one issue I'm going to have is just where is everything and like measurements. I think that's the split right there. Because so they're going to be lined in twill. Okay, no, those are definitely card holders. And then I think this is the line, and then that is definitely a card holder because I didn't cut luggage out of that. And then this is, oh, this is going to be tough. This looks like it's probably a luggage thing. Luggage. And then this was a wallet. Definitely two wallets. And then I think these get back into luggage. Yeah, luggage. That's definitely luggage because I didn't cut any wallets that way. Luggage. All right. So if you've been around for a while, I keep talking about going and do Kyoto Marathon. I will not be doing it next year. However, I did go in because they just opened up signups, and I checked to see how easy it will be to get in for 2026. Dead easy. And it's a first come, first serve situation. So it's actually really awesome because it means that I just sign up and go as long as I think I can run it fast enough. And yeah, so it was like super easy. I checked it because it opened up on the 17th or something like that, and I checked it a few days later, and it was at the point where I was able to actually also still sign up. So we'll take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah, that matches the count that I had in the cutting studio as well. And we're going to trim down the twill to match, and then we will trim the Velcro. Anyway, so yeah, that was really cool to see. And then also, like, words are apparently not my friend today. yeah, so basically what we were going to cancel those plans and then go in June, but now we've kind of shuffled it around because I was like, you know what, let's just stick to that plan because we've got a friend in Hong Kong that can get that will have the Lunar New Year off. We just actually saw her. And then so she'll come over and meet us because Lunar New Year is like after the marathon. So as long as it lines up, even if she comes in between, it doesn't really matter. That's when we're going to do the most fun stuff anyway. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what, let's just stick to the plan, do that. And then I'll go over and I'll do a solo trip like in November or something like that. So October, when it's cheaper, since we discovered that apparently October is significantly cheaper. And then I planned out, I was looking this morning at like what our flights would cost based on like the same kind of trip dates as around like Lunar New Year that we would have this year coming up in 25. And it is dirt cheap right now. I'm like even flying into Tokyo. So I think as far as I can tell, because Lunar New Year will fall in like in the midpoint of the trip. Basically, we'd fly to Japan before Lunar New Year. I think we're good. I think it's just going to miraculously all work out, which is amazing. And when I say dirt cheap, I mean like about $1,000 per person, which right now, or at least compared to what it would have been this year with Chinese New Year, like right on that weekend, is dirt cheap because they were like height of summer prices at like $2,500 a piece. So, yeah, no, we are not in the game of paying $10,000 for flights to Japan right now. Because that would be for like both Dallas and I and our kiddos. So no. But yeah, so I was like that, and then I'll go back in October. Mostly because also Natsumi has also told me already that she's like, Natsumi is the lady who makes the clay charms that I sell in the shop. And she's already told me, she's like, I don't think I can even fill this order by June of 26. I'm like, do you know what? Get what you can done. I gave her some guidance on the ones that like I really want done. And then we'll figure out the rest later. So I'll give her another heads up that don't worry about it too much. We'll be there. Now, yeah, you've got an even like longer timeline on this order now. So, and then I did thank her. I'm like, thank you for always being like super enthusiastic about like tackling these orders because I really appreciate it. And I know my customers appreciate it too. And really, if she is making bank selling retail to all the like foreign tourists and all the tourists when they come visit the Toji market, do it. Right? Like, why sell to me wholesale when you can sell for retail? Seriously. So anyway, so yeah, that's where we're at with that one. Kyoto will be really easy to get into. I have a feeling Dallas will get into Osaka as well because he wants to run the Osaka marathon. Well, he wants to run Kyoto too, but Kyoto's my city, basically. And actually, it'll be really cool because if this friend's able to make it over as well, we can rent bikes and then the kids can ride. They'll bike around and like cheer me on from various locations in Kyoto, which would be really cool. And then like, yeah. And like, it'd also be really nice because this is like, not to pawn the kids off, but it will be an extra set of hands with someone that they like. And then we can trust them, like this friend and everything like that. So that'll be nice too for us. Like, not that we're going to be like, yeah, we're going to go out and drink and see you later. But just like, we are standing on a very busy platform and this child is like needing an extra set of hands. So, and she's been to Kyoto before, but she's only done Fushimi Inari. So, which is the big, all like, it's a very iconic kind of like line of Torii Gate sort of thing. So that makes it really easy for me to plan. And actually I found some cool stuff while I was looking at a couple places I've been before for like hikes and viewpoints. So I think we're going to have some different things, which will be really awesome. Yeah, so right now we're prepping for, as listed at the bottom of the screen, I have Omatsuri on August 10th, and then I have Knit City Calgary on August 17th and 18th, right? Yes, okay, good. We're trying not to panic. I'm not promising that I'm not panicking. I'm trying. if I'm successful with something else. I have one of these, and I'm pretty sure I had 2 of these for handles. So let's try and find the other one. Wallet, 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 pocket, pocket. I've also got like all my fans turned off and everything right now, and the house is like so quiet. It's actually kind of creepy. I'm like, I don't know if I'm actually comfortable with this. There's the other one. Right, because I did luggage handles out of this instead of a wallet because I figured it suited the luggage handles a little bit better. Cool. So these, we're still working with like leftovers and scraps and just trying to like reduce the scrap load. I do have all the small box bags prepped and ready to go for zippers. We got to do zipper pulls. Let's hope and pray that I don't run out of black zipper pulls, because I just realized I might cut that pretty close, but we'll find out, I guess. This is what always happens during show prep. As soon as Knit City is over, I'm going to do there's no point in ordering supplies right now because it's not like I'm going to be able to use them. Anything that I need desperately, I can get from the local supplier in Calgary. Speaking of which, I visited the local supplier on Tuesday, and the guy behind the counter literally did exactly what I was doing with the die. Give it like 2 good hammers, and then the die popped out. So apparently it's a known issue that sometimes these dies aren't fitting in the older models like I have, which would have been good to know in advance. Yeah, so they went into the back and pulled out their old sets of dies and got me a piece that actually fits. Super awesome service. Really appreciate it. Wish that this had been mentioned when I was actually purchasing it, but the guy that I purchased it from was like in a really bad mood. So I think he was just feeling harassed and didn't check. But yeah, Dallas and I celebrated 10 years yesterday of marriage, which was super awesome. We went out we don't do a lot for our anniversaries anymore, just with kids and like trying to be a little bit more frugal with our money. But I was like, it's 15 and 10 years this year, so we need to do something. So yeah, we went out to a really, really nice sushi restaurant in Cochrane. We have a really good sushi place we go to regularly, like best sushi I've had, like, or tied with Vancouver and even some places I've been in Japan, hands down. But anyway, this is a second place to that one because we've been wanting to try it for a while, but it's definitely one of those places that's more of like a date place. So it takes some like coordination because you have to order your nigiri like 24 hours in advance, and there's some other things that need 24 hours advance notice, all that. Oh my God. Frickin' Velcro. This is going to be worse than those zippers. Anyway, it takes some coordination, and it's like the kids could come, but it's definitely more of an adult place. And the omakase, which is the like chef's choice that happens later in the evening, is actually adult only. But we went for really early supper. It was like 4 o'clock. And it was really good overall. I think Sakura edges it out for just casual sushi of like, we want sushi, we want it now, and we don't want to have to think about like what we're getting. There's a few things that we wouldn't order again, but like overall the service was really good. Definitely owned by a Japanese couple. They're from Vancouver. And the tamago yaki, which is like the little rolled omelet pieces, were the hands down the best I've ever had. Even I think over the stuff I've had in Japan. It was those, oh, I'm going to be daydreaming about those until we go back. And then what was the other thing that they did that was really good? The miso was like very Japanese. Like Dallas put it as like, this is completely uncompromising to like a Western palate. That's probably the best description of it. It was so good. Anyway, if you're in the Cochrane area or you're coming out for like Knit City and you're going to be in the Calgary Cochrane area, you want some good sushi. Sakura is good if you're just doing it last minute, or Azito if you want to plan a little bit more, have more of a date night. It was just, oh, so good. So, and they had some really good Japanese craft beer because high. So they had Hatatino, which is owl's nest. It's got cute little owls on the bottle. And then they also had Orion. I thought it was Orion originally. And then the lady's like, no, Orion. And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. It is spelled like Orion though, if you're like reading it in English. And it was out of Okinawa, and it was also really good. So, yay. What else has been happening? We've just had a busy week. That's why I kind of gave you all the heads up that I wouldn't be on much this week, but except for like today and tomorrow and probably Monday. I've basically told Dallas now, I'm like, all right, now that this week is done, the only day you're going to see me the next sets is like Thursday. Bye. Or at least actually not even the next 2 sets, just next set. Mostly so I also see the kids a little bit. But yeah, we're down to like the last 3 weeks before Knit City, and I'm like, time to boogie. 3 weeks, right? Yeah, 3 weeks today. So we'll be setting up in 3 weeks. Oh my God, this freaking Velcro. There we go. And yes, I did try to keep it in the box. It would have been impossible to use out of the box, same as right now. I don't actually, yeah. And after this, I will go in and actually purchase a big roll from the supplier in Calgary that I use because, yeah, I think it comes basically hooked together. And so I don't have to worry about this, and it's on a big spool, and I can just store the spool. It's actually on a spool, unlike that zipper. Is Katie still salty about 200 meters of zipper that's not on the spool? Yeah, 100%. How long have I been working with that zipper? Okay, I think we're actually almost apart here. And then what we're going to do is we're just basically going to set it on 2 sides of my body and cut the rest of these that we need. So, all right, there we go. I did have an optometrist appointment on Wednesday as well. So I'm diabetic. One of my big concerns always is my eyesight. Pretty big motivating factor to like not have stuff happen. My doctor's big worry is my kidneys. So between the 2 of us, we should keep me in pretty good shape. My diabetes is extremely well controlled for what it is. I did have a bit of a blip after kids, but it's back where it needs to be now, blah, blah, blah. And as I exercise more and lose more weight, it's just going to be, or as I continue to exercise, I can't add more exercise. And lose weight, it'll just improve sort of thing. But anyway, so I had a continual floater. It's been really weird. Just suddenly happened as we were like coming home from Dawson Creek. And I was like, I kind of ignored it a little bit because I was like, well, we'll make sure sort of thing, right? Like, I don't know. If you're chronically ill, sometimes it's like, just wait and see a little bit and then like worry about it if it continues. I feel like just terrible. But true. Anyway, I finally booked the appointment because it'd been a couple months and it hadn't gone away. It gone a bit lighter, but it hadn't gone away. And it's like, okay, time to actually get this like looked at. Sent me into a total tailspin to actually acknowledge that something was there. And it turns out it's not actually anything to do with my diabetes. No retinopathy, which is what happens if you get retinal damage from diabetes. It is, however, something apparently completely benign and anatomically possible of basically the vitreous, which is the eye jelly, has pulled away from the retina. It's like, oh, that sounds fun. That is sarcastic. Apparently there's not it's benign, so there's nothing I can really do about it. There's nothing to change it right now. It's happened. There is no retinal damage, which is amazing. And basically now we're just on a monitoring thing to make sure it doesn't get worse. And I'm like, so now it's like, I didn't think of these questions while I was seeing him, of course, because of course it's like better and worse news than anticipated. It's better than like, oh yeah, you've got diabetic retinopathy, and it's worse than, oh, it's nothing. I guess at least it's not just in my head, but still, it's like, oh God. But yeah, apparently it's not normal, but it's common. And then the big thing we're watching for is that if it continues to pull away or pulls away like roughly, basically, it's what I understand, is it can cause like retinal tears, and that's what we want to avoid. So it's like, if these things happen, more floaters, worsening vision, blah, 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 blah. He said the one thing, and this one was interesting, is like, if you feel like you're looking through saran wrap, apparently some people get, so, because basically it collapses and then you get like wrinkles. I'm like, all right. So, but of course I didn't think to ask him, it's like, what do I do if this happens, like when I'm abroad? Because like we're getting into like gearing up to do a bunch of trips abroad. So I need to, it's one thing I'll chat with him next time I see him. I gotta go get my contacts fitted better. And, yeah, it's just like, okay, so if this happens while I'm abroad, do I go and seek help at a hospital? Or is this a thing where it's like, okay, get like, this obviously we'll have medical insurance. Or is this a get on the like earliest plane home and we will deal with it at home? Because everything that I'm reading about it is like, yeah, if it changes, you urgently need to get care for it. I'm like, okay, so how urgent is urgent? Like, if I'm 3 days left in Tokyo, do I just come home on my flight 3 days later? Or what? So these are the questions I should have asked while I was seeing him. But yeah, just a little bit into a tailspin. And apparently from what, again, so reading reputable stuff online, because now I know what it is. So it's posterior vitreous detachment. It happens mostly in people over 50, which it's like, okay, well, I'm 35. That's already a point against it. If it does cause any like retinal detachment, it is treatable as long as you do it rapidly. And apparently the floaters should get better in about 3 to 6 months. And I have noticed a little bit of fading. I did think it was my right eye though, and it was totally my left eye, which like my left eye feels like it is just the problem child. So bodies are weird. I am eye squeamish. I hope that wasn't too much of a description for anyone else. No blood or anything like that. It's just is. Apparently my optometrist said he actually has 2 really big ones. And it does explain what I saw when it actually, I know exactly when it happened. It was when, like I said, driving home from Dawson Creek. But of course, it's like, you chalk it up to different things, right? Because it's like, that is something that I'd associate with diabetes. But now I know better. And now I know what to look for too. Has it dropped my anxiety when I've seen the floater still? No. It should, realistically, but it does not. I'll just be glad if it actually goes away and I don't notice it anymore. And of course, because I know now that's the left eye, and I'm just more conscious of my left eye, and I'm like, it feels weird right now. So it's just like, okay, gotta ignore it. Like, just kind of get out of the acute stage of finding out, and then I think I'll be okay. Mentally, maybe. Anyway, but Dallas and I kind of took a look. So he wants to like get his 6-star. So that's the like 6 world majors, including Boston. He is working towards qualifying for Boston. That's the only way you can really do it for him. He doesn't want a charity run. That was the thing. I was like, okay. But the other 5, so the 6 stars is 6 marathons around the world. There's 3 in the States, the United States of America. And then there is 3 abroad. So 1 is Tokyo, 1 is Berlin, and 1 is London. And then the 3 in the States are, what are they? The thing and the thing and the thing. God. It's Chicago, New York, and Boston. Boston being, they're all really hard to get into, but Boston's probably the hardest because you got to get that qualifying time. I think for him it's something like 3:04 or something for his age group. For a marathon. He has to run a marathon in under 3:04 or at 3:04 or something like that, and that's when he would qualify for it. Anyway, and you always want to run a little bit faster than what they post as the qualifying time, because they just kind of go up, right? So they fill it with the fastest people and then work up from there. Anyway, so we were kind of looking at like how are we going to do this, and like when are we going to do it? And then I was like, because here's the thing, I want to go abroad. I'm going to start having like eye complications and sight complications potentially. Like the one good thing about the tailspin was like I really did Oh, I need actually 24 of those, not 12 of those, because we've got 12 prints, but we've got 24 luggage handles. So let me cut 12 more of these. Anyway, yeah, the good part of that tailspin was it was like very introspective of like, okay, what do I actually want to do? Because we discussed like, should I go back to work or like continue focusing on the business or like what? We did agree that me returning to work would impact our quality of life too much between like the kids and him, and like if I went back to work there's no way I'd be able to train to race with the kids and stuff like that, so, and with his work schedule. And then there's also just building out like where do we actually want to go. So it's like there's not a lot of places in Europe we really want to go. Berlin then would be one of them with the whole race, which is kind of cool. Greece I want to go to, and I really, really want to go to Italy, and specifically Florence. I want to do Rome as well, but Florence is like the big one. 3, 4, 5. And then most of the places that we want to go, it's really interesting because it's like, I can name those ones, and those are the ones I really want to go to in Europe and the UK. But then it's like, outside of that though, I'm like, I can name off more places in Asia that I want to go to more rapidly than Europe. So I think we're going to focus mostly in Asia, to be honest, eventually. But so yeah, it's like, okay, so who has marathons? It's like, so there's one in Seoul, there's one in Hong Kong, all the kind of major centers have them. I asked Dallas, I'm like, where else do you want to go? And he's like, Perth or Sydney, which would be kind of cool. Australia's always been on my list to go to eventually. New Zealand has one. I'm like, what is the capital of New Zealand? Because I'm like, I don't remember. And he's like, so I had to actually look it up. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Wellington. 8, 9. So it was a good discussion. 11. Mm, 12. And then it was like, okay, so the other places where it's like, okay, we don't have like a full list of stuff. I think a really good way for us to do it, and I think would be really fun, is actually to go do one of those like river cruises. So like you go and you do the cruise of like the Danube or something like that. Would be a lot of fun. So maybe. So yeah, first Japan, because he hasn't been back to Japan for 8 years, or won't be. He'll have been out of Japan for 8 years by the time we actually go back. I think it's been almost 6 right now. And then trips after that, what we'll do is we'll just basically, or if I need to go in for fabric and people don't want to come sort of thing, I'll just go in and do a quick solo trip in and out sort of thing. So alrighty. Time to start installing. You can't see any of that. The camera's like, oh God, too dark, too bright, blah, 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 blah. So where you install the loop, so it's hook and latch, Velcro. So the latch is on this side, and then the hooks are on the exterior side. So what I got to go in and do is install all of the Velcro. Yay, Velcro. Now that we've cut it all, we're good to go. Okay. So the other part of this is now it's like, okay, where did I install these on the other ones? It was down. Okay. That's why I've got the other ones here, is they are the ones that are like going to be the guideline for where I place everything on it today. So I think it's basically just a 1/2 inch down on all sides and in on all sides. A little tiny scooch for this one because it's not quite halfway there. And then, yes, I'm using white thread on black, but whatever. Everyone can deal. If you're like, Katie, why aren't you working on small box bags? Because I don't feel like it right now. I do not feel like dealing with zippers right now is the main thing. I don't know why, but it's okay. And we had an adventure this morning because Dallas accidentally left the door open when he came in from the gym. And of course, Flynn, being the opportunistic escape artist that he is, was like, I'm out of here. Took us like an hour and a half to find him. So he wandered up this direction. He was apparently at someone's door first thing. And then wandered away from there and was all over the neighborhood. A bunch of neighbors were out though, so it's like, okay, if you see this cat and you're not allergic, he's super friendly, please just scoop him up and bring him home, please. Please. Stupid cat. Not therapeutic at all. I feel like the kids are in the backyard. Oh no, they're upstairs, right? They would have come in the garage. Okay, so this side is going to get the loop of the stuff. Now the big one is that it matches per what we just did more than it matches like in between luggage handles. So I think that looks like it's probably good. Yeah, we're good there. One moment. Okay, those were definitely the children. I got leaves as a gift though, which is super cute. Very wilted leaves, because it is very hot here again today. They're like, why aren't you hanging out with us? And it's like, because this is the first opportunity I've had to work all week. Sorry. Okay. So there we go. Now I am also going to have to cut the what am I going to have to cut? I'm going to have to cut the elastic for the little card holders, but we'll do that afterwards since we'll work on this first. I'm going to just install this stuff and then we'll go in and sew it together afterwards because that can be chain pieced all together. Flynn, leave the leaves alone. They're not for you. They're for me. They're very cute. Very nice leaves. Get out of here. You've been enough of a pest today. Okay. So next one here. They actually flat out told me that they didn't want to go to the library with me this week. They only wanted to go to the library with Daddy. And I'm like, okay, you go with him. I will stay in the cool. And so instead. I don't know why I started it there this time, but all right, here we are. Okay, I'm also going to tack that down a bit more because oh yeah, I definitely caught it. I just didn't catch it quite as much as I normally would. That's fine. Turn. Now these are not my own original idea. I have purchased these from another maker in the past. And if you would like to go support them, please do. They're 2 needles and some thread. And they are out of Edmonton currently, as far as I remember. And they actually, the coolest thing I have from them is this. It's like a, so it's a catch with a weight on top. And I use it as a thread catcher, but they can be used for like stuff like remotes or yeah, all these like a lot of really cool stuff, to be honest. The first thing that pops into my head is remotes. I don't know why, because it's not even like we really, well, I guess we do. Like, we don't use remotes for our TV, but we totally do. We use like an Apple remote and stuff like that, and things to turn the actual TV on, I guess. Anyway, I was just thinking more of like, yeah, when you used to have like 16 dozen remotes to basically just get onto like your cable or something like that. But I'm like, yeah, I guess we've got a lot right now. Oh, one moment.
That's it.
That's it? Okay.
Bye.
You should take his hula hoop.
I will. Okay, bye.
Bye. Yeah, so I really like their thread catchers. It's something that I'd never make, but they did used to make. I actually chat with Caroline because she's like friends with one of the makers, and I'm like, are they still making these? And she's like, I don't think they are. And I'm like, okay. And then I am going to tackle them because I really like them. They make your luggage stand out, and they're a good scrap buster. Always looking for a good scrap buster, right? So, there we go. And they're machine washable. I would suggest throwing them into like a laundry bag and then air drying them just like everything else I make, unless it has leather. But yeah, these guys you could definitely machine wash. Okay. I am going to trim this twill down so that it is more level. So the other thing that I have beside me that we might work on instead of doing small box bags, because for some reason I have a mental block about the small box bags, don't ask me why today, is we might actually work on getting some patchwork done for coasters. Because if I make a big like sheet basically of patchwork is what I'm thinking is, oh, I know how to do this. We'll measure from there. Okay, so maybe. This feels a lot larger than it needs to be. Is it? Oh, that's because it is. Okay, let's trim this down a little bit then. La la la. I'm like, why is this Velcro so small compared to what it's actually supposed to be? Okay. How much needs to come off? About 1/4 inch. Okay. 1/4 inch doesn't sound like much, but when you're working on this smaller project, it really does turn out to be more. Anyway, what I was thinking is I'll patchwork together basically a whole cloth, and then we'll go in and trim down the whole cloth and make a bunch of coasters, hopefully. And that'll be like from the patchwork of things. Okay, and then if that's the hook and loop, And then the actual cat will be outside. Okay, cool. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to just put this here. Oh yeah, that's way better. Try to make it fairly even. This is definitely a crooked cut. There we go. It's scraps. It's going to be crooked probably. Actually, there we go. Ding. Yeah. There's not much to talk about, I guess, anymore. I'm getting really excited to take the kids to Japan. I know it's like still, what, over a year and a half? Although actually we're getting close to the year and a half point, so that's exciting. Because what it would be, it'd be like, yeah, in August it'll be a year and a half. They've both grown since we last measured them in May. So when we went down to Florida in January, they were just 38 inches. Well into 38 inches with their shoes, but like why this was such a big deal is 38 inches is kind of the start of the big coasters at Disney. And so that was super exciting. And now they are actually 40 inches. And because they just have gone through a growth spurt. Because I was like looking at my eldest and I'm like, oh, you're like, because you know how they get like a little bit of a belly to like grow. And yeah, the belly was gone. I'm like, whoa, okay. And so my husband measured them earlier and they're the same size now. They're 40 inches. But it's the youngest in like the 91st percentile or something like that for height. And our eldest, like 50 percentile perfectly. Which is right on track with what they've been their whole lives pretty much. So the youngest is going to be tall, tall, tall. The eldest is probably going to be average, which is perfect because that means it'll be far easier to clothe the youngest. Also explains why they're in the same size clothing, even though they're a year apart. Okay, there we go. Threads. Threads. 3. We're an 1/8 of the way through. In my head, these were a lot faster, but apparently not today, and that's fine. Okay, we are going to square this up based on these rulers, which should be pretty square. And just kind of do yeah, there we go. That's better. Eee. I do think tonight I will go up and have dinner. I'm going to make sure I have a beer with Dallas, and then I think I'll probably come back downstairs and do a bit more sewing tonight, just because we are in crunch time. Monday is long run day, so I will see how I feel afterwards, basically. But probably back online in the afternoon, early afternoon, same kind of schedule. And I will be on tomorrow as well. And actually, I will be on earlier tomorrow because hopefully the cat does not escape. And I will not be actually cutting stuff. I just did not feel like moving the camera into the cutting studio, really, because I knew I was just going to come back out here and start working. So that's why you didn't follow me in today. But it did actually take quite a bit of time. I think that took about an hour and a half to cut all of these. So, which realistically is not bad, but is definitely part of why I was a little bit later today. So, all good. Okay, so I want this in, this out, because then the ruler cat. So the ruler cat is going to get the ruler cat's going to get covered anyway. So it really doesn't matter. But yeah, just a little bit. Actually, so then we want, wait. So if it's folded this way, like this, and then that, we actually do want the hook here. There we go. Hook here, loop there, so that then the cat ends up on top. Thought processing. Do, do, do. Okay. Shuffle it down to the right amount. Good. 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 Do, 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 do. Halfway between. Perfect. 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 Sweet. Okay, good. You gotta stay under the rulers, please. Turn. Pivot. Oh, that's what it is. I'm like, my machine sounds like it's broken, but it's actually just the light, like, rumbling along on the metal. Doo-loo-loo-loo-loo. Okay. Ding, ding. And then we're going to flip it because this is the side that we actually have to turn up. Dun, 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 dun. I guess what I could do is I could just do it this way. Let me just line it up. Because realistically, that's all we got to do now is like line it up to where it actually needs to be. Just right there. Sweet. Be like, Katie, why aren't you putting pins in? Because it's kind of, it's fine. And it's kind of useless for like what we're actually sewing here. No, with this one? Okay, yeah, I did. I don't even know what that melody is. I'm sure it's not something that I've made up though. So I probably should start humming it. Bloop. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Ready to go for the next ones. So where are we at? 6 out of 24. Quarter of the way. Woo! Sometimes the simplest stuff takes the most amount of time. It's like, how? Why? Where? When? Oh well. It's all good. Get there eventually. This also looks like it's a little bit too wide. It's because it is. Not like an insane amount. So we'll just take it off of where I'm sewing this, and then yeah, so we're positioned correctly, and then we'll trim it down. Let's scoot it in just a tick. There we go. Go, and then go up and down. Turn. So back this way and turn. And done. Now we'll trim it down. Again, just that like tiny bit of thinning down. 1/4 of an inch. There we go. But that puts us like, yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, turn, flip, and dun, dun. Oh, I see what I should do instead. Okay. Ding. Ding. The big thing is making sure that it is the right height from the top, actually. And then not knocking it out of the way when I actually get it. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. Good. Good, good. Turn. So right now we're working on getting Velcro installed into the luggage handles. We are currently 9 out of 24, or 7 out of 24. So we're over 1/4 done. Is it going slower than I anticipated? 100%. This is another scrap buster project that has been like niggling at my brain for the last little bit. So I was like, okay, we're gonna get these ready for Omatsuri because that is a more generalized show. And it'll also help pare down my scrap pile that I'm currently drowning under. Because when am I not drowning under it? And we're also probably going to work on getting some whole cloth made from the patchwork pieces for coasters, since that is something that I keep talking about and not acting on. And because for some reason I'm avoiding sewing small box bags. I'm like, I don't even know why I'm avoiding sewing small box bags, because I know they'll sell well, but that's not where my brain is right now. So here we are. Ding. That looks like it's pretty well centered. Right. Right. Ding. Ding. There we go. That thread is like, I am just going to sew myself into everything along with everything. Ugh. Sorry. There's apparently floof in the air. I don't even know what from. Well, I guess we could hazard an educated guess. But I swear my nose was not this itchy when I was like in the cutting room, so I don't know why it's this itchy at the sewing table. Always the case, right? Okay, so scoot it into where it's supposed to be height-wise. There we go, and then we'll just even it up based on that. And based on that, we should be good. We're just gonna go for it. Under the machine. By the way, the next shop update will be July 25th, as far as I can tell. All the photos are edited. I'm currently just doing their alt text, or their titles basically. And then I will be listing them in the shop. If you want to be first dibs people, the newsletter subscribers always get first dibs with a direct link to the website in their inbox. So go subscribe to the newsletter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, are we already halfway then? Or is there actually? Oh, cool. Okay. That doesn't feel right, but all right, I'll take it for now. Whatever, we'll just ignore it. Ignore it. All good. It's a little bit tall, but that's okay. Tall is better than too wide. Too tall, better than too wide. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. There we go. Next, flip, fold, oh, sneaky. This is what I can do. Okay, so it needs to be lined up with there, and then it needs to be lined up with that line right there, and then I don't even need to measure the other side, because that's just where it's supposed to be. Haha. Here we go. Like I said, it doesn't really matter if it matches between handles, because you're not like Velcroing the two handles together. As long as it matches on the actual current handle, that's what matters. There we go. Ready to be trimmed and trimmed. And oh, that one's a little bit long. And from somewhere it shouldn't be, apparently. Okay, there we go. Done. Okay, next. Ding. Okay, yeah, so this is the one that needs the pickety snickety nitpicky measurement. And then the next one will be just, we can just even it up based on this current one. Whee! Apparently is going to also eat the threads, so we will trim those later. Pivot. That's a little bit too far. Turn again. Do. There we go. So actually what I'm going to do is, since we are working with threads, I don't know, I think I keep just kind of throwing them over the edge. That is what this thread catcher is supposed to be for. If I use it is another thing, apparently. Look at this nice thread catcher that I love, and I do adore it. And do I use it? Hardly ever. That's not the fault of the thread catcher, though. That's my own fault. There we go. All right. Trim the threads, trim the threads, trim the threads. Turn the thing. Fold the thing. Do, 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 do. Okay, and then this actually did work really well last time. So basically just line this up, that line. And then this, like I said, the big thing that I'm worried about is just making sure that the depth is correct. So that has to go there. And then and then it's lined up already. So there we go. Done. Excellent. Turn. Stitch. Turn. Done. Whee. Oh yeah, and then insult on injury as well as this whole eye jelly thing. If you missed that earlier, I am not repeating myself, so you can scroll back. But apparently I'm also getting early onset reading class requirements. And I'm like, I can't win right now with eyes. Again, one of those situations where it's like, it's better than it could have been and way worse than just like, nah, it's just in your head. And so it's like, ah. So, although the prescription requirement for the whole nearsight or the reading distance is like minimal, and where it's like, do you really need it? And it's like, no, not yet. But he was like, you are definitely have what was it, less focal flexibility or whatever they call it when they test it. Damn it. Although I have been noticing it's like when I go to cut out patterns and stuff like that, the lines are more difficult to see unless I have a really bright light on them. So it's like, okay, can only cut patterns during the day or under very direct bright light. But overall, in good health. It's not diabetes related, which is extremely good. So, alrighty. Down and through. Flip. Okay, that is the right width. It's wandered off a little bit at the bottom here, so I'm just going to trim it down so that the Japanese fabric and the twill match up here. I did decide on the twill because it's a little bit heavier duty than the quilt cottons, and so that I didn't have to go in and actually interface these. And I have a giant roll of twill from the past 6 years, so it's time for that twill to get used. It's also what I'm using for the lining for the majority of these little wallets that I'm going to be making as well. I say wallets, they're like card holders. Like, I'm finding that typically I don't use a lot of cash. Realistically, the only time I have cash is post shows. And so I'm like, well, I need something that will hold just like the most important cards, because realistically, I don't need everything that's in my big wallet. And so I was like, I need something that will hold just like my card and say my like ID sort of thing. So that's where this kind of came about. I was like, I bet you someone has a pattern. This pattern is, or not this, that's not what I'm working on right now, but when we do work on them, the pattern is from Orange Betty. And we'll see how we like it. It's about the same measurements as these guys, so it's like I had to be careful that I didn't mix the two up, because they will need to be a specific size to actually fit the cards. Although I guess larger is better than too small for sure. Oh man, I still remember buying. So this is one of the fabrics that was first time in like Japan for fabrics. Bought it tomato in Tokyo. Dark purple, little like sparkly doilies. I was so happy with it. And now we're coming up to the end of it. Excuse me. Okay, looking at those piles, we are well over halfway. I am going to go in and sew these all at once, and then we'll turn them, and then... No, we'll go in and we'll sew... Yeah, we'll sew them all at once. We will not turn them, but we will sew them. And then we'll go in and we'll sew all the little card holders. And then we'll turn everything. Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow morning, and then I can do that while I hang out with the kids tomorrow morning. Because that's basically, no, because tomorrow morning I'll hang out and do more photo stuff for the update, because they like to just chill. It's the weekend. It's chill time, mostly. Work on that. Or turning these. Depending on where we get to with everything. Wallets might actually come together faster than these. Because this Velcro is a little bit finicky, actually. Not bad. Just a bit more time consuming than I was anticipating for, like, I'm going to throw these together today. I don't know why I ever think that something is like a throw together project. Never is. I think the closest thing to a throw together project, and even it takes a while, is the planner pencil pouches, to be honest. And even then I'm like, oh my goodness. There's like always a pinch point on a project, right? Doesn't matter if you're sewing or knitting or weaving or whatever you're doing, there is always a pinch point. And for these, apparently, is installing the Velcro. Cat problem of the... Yeah, we found the cat problem of the luggage covers. Luggage handle covers. If you're new here, a cat problem is something that is completely inconsequential to anyone else or worldwide, or... Oh, I totally installed these backwards. Noah. Or like... Yeah, they're not even really consequential to me. They're just annoyances. And if you haven't heard me use that term before, it's from Jory John, who has a book out called Cat Problems. And the cat is sitting in front of their food dish, and they're going, dry food. I want wet food, not dry food, wet food. And so, and this cat just is like doing this, of course, in that annoying cat tone of like, why me? And so that is a cat problem. Totally inconsequential to anything else. I don't like calling them first world problems, and I'm like, nope. That's kind of the level of it. But I think cat problem is actually the better descriptor for it, personally. All right, you got one. Oh, actually, so I might have overcut the Velcro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I 100% did. Oh well, now I got a bunch of Velcro ready for the next round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There won't actually, next round, it's not actually going to be that many. I think there's going to be like 15 sets, but I figure it's better maybe to start out with a few less than too many and like overcommit to. I have done that in the past, and then it's like, oh, these aren't actually selling as much as I thought they would in my brain. So, great. All right. I don't know why I'm so yawny. I did actually sleep well last night, finally. I think I had to get us some new sheets on Tuesday, because it was like I was laying in bed Tuesday morning gain ourselves out, basically rolled over, and I literally like pulled our sheets apart. And like, okay, if there's one hole, I'd probably patch it and clean it up and whatever. I knew there was a couple nicks and scrapes, but they weren't growing, so I wasn't too worried about them. But then I looked at the area where I'd made the hole, and no, it was like worn through in like 24 spots, because apparently we must have been putting the sheet on my side, like in that orientation consistently, because it looks like it was just basically my side of the bed. Anyway, so I went and got new sheets when I was at Costco, but I did get the cheap version of the sheets, and now I think that's part of why I haven't been sleeping well the last few nights. So, oh well. Sheets and pickles, because they finally had big pickles back in stock, and I'm like, oh, you never have big pickles back in stock recently. Probably not for the last 6 to 9 months. I've seen them within the last year, but I can't remember when. And the kids and Dallas, and realistically, I as well, really enjoy pickles. So I was like, okay, we're going to get like 6 jars of pickles. Now, as long as they don't eat them all at once, we're good. But I think they'll behave themselves. So like, half the bill was basically pickles and sheets. I'm like, great. That's just how Costco seems to go sometimes, though. But the best sets of flannel sheets we've gotten recently have been from Costco. So I think it was just that I cheaped out on them this time. So I'll remember that next time. Get them more expensive sheets. So just annoying, because it was like, okay, there is no way around this. Like, we have to get them now. Because I'm not sleeping in flannel sheets in the like top heat of July either. Alright, ran out of one bobbin, so we're going to go in and get set up so that we can wind the next white bobbin, because currently we have black thread on the bobbin stand. How many more times can we say bobbin? Bobbin, 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 bobbin. White thread on. Black bobbin in the drawer for later. Ding. Okay. Thread up and through. And then in through the bobbin winder area. Just remember that I've got a couple special orders I'm supposed to finish up. Guess that'll be tomorrow's task, or the start of the tasks tomorrow. Okay, pull that back a little bit, get back in here. Turn, stitchy stitch. The other thing too is, if you are going to be in the Calgary area or looking to go to Knit City, Calgary in like 3 weeks, I am going to be doing an Instagram post for a giveaway for tickets here in the next week. Obviously not associated with Instagram, blah, 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 blah. I will make sure that I get all that in there. But yeah, I'm a sponsor, so I get 2 marketplace tickets, and you can follow along, and it'll probably be something like follow and comment who you would go with. So, because that's usually a fun way of like looping people into the event. I did notice actually when we were doing the pancake pop-up that there was a lot of people who didn't know that Knit City was going to be in Calgary this year. So I'm like, okay, got to get the word out. We're going to be in Calgary this year. I think it's just kind of like so anticipated that it's going to be in Vancouver all the time that everyone's like, it's in Calgary? Shocking. I might need to go up for another coffee. I actually had a cup of I had a cup of coffee when I came down, but I've drank it all, so it might be time for another, apparently. Another and a little bit of a snack, and then I think we'll wrap up on these luggage handles, and then I'll go up and do that. We're just about there. It's like, what, 6 left or something like that, including this one? 7? 7. So sounds like it might be time to once again change the needle, actually, which is wild because I just changed it feels like. I don't think we have put 8 sewing hours on this one. Oh, maybe we have, because I went in and did all those mini travelers things. By the way, thank you so much for all the support on those new bags. That was like amazing. No, that needle's still good. Still pretty pokey. Yeah, I'm like, am I going to have time to restock for Knit City? And I don't think I'm going to. I'm like, crap. Or what I should be doing is I should do some stuff for like Omatsuri with some obi, but I don't think I even have really time for that. So I guess we will basically play it by ear this next week and see kind of what I get done for small box bags. I think with the number of small box bags that we have in like the various degrees of finish we have, I think I probably could throw in some mini traveler slings. But I don't want to say yay or nay for sure yet. A very high chance maybe. But that's all I'm going to commit to right now. Am I actually on the Velcro? I am on the Velcro. Okay, good. I was like, come on. Please be on the Velcro. We're good. It's on the Velcro. It's on the very edge, but that's where you want to be sewing anyway because it's like reinforced. Okay. Snip and snip, snip, and then come down here like that. All right. Actually, I'm going to check my sugar here. No, I'm doing okay. All right. I'm just hungry. Hungry and coffee time. I guess it is like 20 after 3 here, so coffee would make sense right now. Okay. This is not, in fact, a luggage handle. This is, in fact, a wallet, or not big enough for a luggage handle. Okay, so we're going to pull those for now because it looks like they're probably going to be repurposed. That's fine. Pretty sure this is, I was just like, it looks suspiciously small. So we got 1, 2, 4 more to go. That one's definitely a luggage handle. I remember cutting it specifically for that. So, okay. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, there we go. So those, I'm going to keep those clipped here for now. And then if it turns out that it is actually supposed to be a set of luggage handles, because what could have happened is the luggage handles might have ended up in the actual like wallet pile, and the wallets ended up in the non-luggage pile. So I'm going to keep that all clipped together and we'll sort it out later. I'm not in the sorting mindset right now, so I've done it enough for today. Because I had to go in, and first off, the big decisions were, of course, like, well, it was digging in the bins to find out what I have to actually make these with, and then make like checking measurements and everything like that. I should have been using my Stripology ruler, but I totally was not. That's okay. Next time. I'm gonna need to do some like quick cut hacks on there of like, okay, this is this and this is this and this is this sort of thing. For whatever reason, these sakura, they were from Tokyo as well, but they always remind me of Nijo Castle in Kyoto, and I don't know why. I always call them mod sakura because they're kind of like mid-century modern style, but it's like they, for whatever reason, they remind me of Nijo. I think it's probably the color combo or something like that. Nijo is one of the original castles in Kyoto for the shogunate, which is when the emperor basically lost his power and the feudal lords took over, essentially. Anyway, yeah, it's one of the shogunate palaces, and it has a bunch of like really amazing artwork inside. It's also got a nightingale floor, which is really cool. We will 100% be going with the children because I think they'll really enjoy it. There's also koi to feed in the back, which is always fun. All of that good stuff. So it is probably one of my favorite places to visit in Kyoto, though. So if you ever go, Nijojo or Nijo Castle is a must-do every single time. I think I've been every single time I've been in Japan recently. And actually, when I was on exchange too, I think I was there a couple times because we went and did a night sakura viewing there as well. Okay. This is placed correctly, but it is a little bit long, so I'm going to, and like crooked, so I'm just going to trim that down right there. Okay, come on, turn. Thank you. Okay, that bobbin is winding right now. Good. Didn't think to check it until just now, so you know. There we go. And then we'll go in and trim the threads. And I will promise you that every time I have been to Nijo, I've pretty much always taken a photo of the front facade of it, like the big entry gateway before you get into the actual like proper palace portion of it. I don't know why. I've already got like a half dozen photos of it, but whatever. Every single time. Different lighting conditions, different times of year, I guess. Just the absolute spectacularness, like impact of it when I first see it again. All that. Always amazing. There, the bobbin is wound. Now it just stays on the bobbin winder while we use this one up, and then we'll swap them out again. All the bobbins. That's what we're doing today. All right, there we go. Two more. And we basically just sew these together, and they'll get turned out and top stitched at some point in the next 2 weeks. So mainly want these for Omatsuri. Obviously also want them for Knit City, Calgary, but like the main market for this to really launch at will be Omatsuri, even if it is a little bit more of a niche market. Yeah, finish these up and then go make a coffee, because oh my goodness. Also, the AC is running right now, and as much as it's like we really do need it running upstairs because it's hot, it is cold down here. So I might actually come back with a hoodie, which sounds so stupid, but I am actually getting uncomfortably cold down here. Ugh, basements can never balance it quite right. Straight, and we'll turn again. So just realized I can manually zoom you in, because otherwise you're not actually seeing too much of this right now. Apparently it's going to pull a bunch of stuff. There we go. May as well focus you in more on the actual sewing machine than the sewing desk, because we're not really doing much work on the sewing desk right now that you won't see underneath the actual machine. At least. Okay. It's the penultimate one. Woo! All right, last one for the luggage handles. Then a break, and then we'll come down and sew them into the rectangles, and then we will work on these little mini card wallet things. Okay, that'll make that cat on top. Perfect. That's the one I want on top. Should probably be about there. And there. Perfect. Good enough. This is a little bit crooked, so I'm just going to trim down that a little bit excess right there. That'll make this even better. Underneath. Tack down. Turn. Stitch. Good. Turn and stitch. ready to go. Boom, boom, boom. Flip, fold, plop. Keep all these extra threads out of the way. Ding, ding. Zip and around and down and turn and go. Right there and turn and go. Yay, we've done it. Like this. Excellent. All right. Coffee time. I'll be back in like 10 to 15 minutes. So right around 3:45. All right, as promised, snacks and coffee, and now I'm in a hoodie because it's chilly down here. But yeah, I go upstairs and it's like instantly hotter, and it's just like, oh my god, there's no way to balance this where it's like comfortable for two different parties. So better to keep our bedrooms and stuff like that in a like sleeping temperature, and me just a little bit cooler downstairs, or like a little bit more layers downstairs, and then I'll deal. I'm an adult. I may not sound like it given my complaints, but I am actually an adult. Again, 100% cat problems. Although Flynn is having zero cat problems right now, since he's like snoozing on a pile of hoodies that are extra down here. So, you know. Apparently this is actually a human problem. And actually Dahlia is curled up on the heating pad over in the corner here. All right. My poor old girl. All right, there's one sewing. It doesn't look like I will actually be able to chain piece these, so that's okay. I guess actually no, I see how I would do it. So we'll try it with the next one. That's fine. Not a big deal overall. Seam allowance on the top is a little bit deeper than the seam allowance around the sides, so I'm just paying attention to that while I do this. And by a bit, I mean 1/8 of an inch, which doesn't sound like it should do much, but it does for some reason. And only in some cases, because obviously that was exterior is a little bit shorter. Now I think if I do that, and then basically come onto the fabric the same way, we should be good. And turn. Oh yeah, look at that. Now as long as it stays out of the way, we'll be golden. Itchy sides. All right. Apparently everything's just going to be itchy while I'm down here. I did actually take some time today and like vacuum my carpet, because I was like, well, partly I needed to pick up because I was tired of walking around the kids' puzzle pieces. And there was some cat puke that had to be cleaned up because apparently they like throwing up on my carpet downstairs. They're cats. Cats are, I love them, but they are kind of gross. So it did take some time just to like reset the bed in the basement the tiniest bit, because it was time. Is it like show worthy again? No, actually. I know I said that I was going to do like a whole studio tour, but we're not doing a studio tour until after show season at this point anyways, so all will be fine, because I still got to do, so we moved a couple of those square calic shelves. One got moved out of the closet in the bedroom. If you've been following along for a while, you know that I'm like still kind of in the throes of organizing my studio. Anyway, so there was calyx, like one of those square IKEA shelves in the excuse me, cutting studio, and so it moved out of the closet into the current like sewing side, but I need to go and actually like organize what's on it basically. And then there was one that was behind me that got moved as well, and it also needs to be like, I need to figure out what's staying on it and what is going to be like the kids section, because that's basically what's going to become, is that it will it's going to become the area for like kids school books and stuff like that. So I gotta designate the shelves that are for them and then figure out what I'm leaving on it that they like, yeah, that they can't reach either is part of it, which is like constantly a moving target. If you weren't along for the adventure of like reorganizing the sewing studio, it took about 3 weeks. It was a massive overhaul, and it was so I could take photos for Butterdome for the application, because I realized they asked for photos of you in your studio, And I realized I had no good way of showing my studio without it looking like a complete disaster zone. Well, not like a cat problem disaster zone. Because, well, I'm in the middle of show prep. So, and yeah, I'd been thinking about reorganizing it for a while anyway. I was discussing that on live streams like that, like what, the week before that or something like that. And so the fact that I had to take a photo actually also helped kick Dallas in the butt so that we both did it. And now it's actually set up, I think, where it's going to stay for the next while. Probably, maybe not permanently, but definitely for the next like couple years. But it still like needs that fine tuning because it kind of like got to the point where it's like, okay, I've spent, I don't know, 2.5, 3 weeks on this. It is time to like, I got to get sewing here because then the next show is coming up and all of that. And it's like, all right, we will get it back to functional and then we can fine tune it later. It's also going to become a bit of a disaster in this winter because we've got a lot of stuff in our storage room that we just need to go through and like do that whole, like, I don't care if we keep all of it even, but we need to go through the boxes and like touch everything in the boxes and decide whether we're keeping it, donating it, or like trashing it basically. Or selling or like whatever. It doesn't, like, I really don't care. But things just get shoved in boxes, and I'm bad for this too, but a lot of it is Dallas's. And I'm like, we need to touch everything in each box and then like, and just go through it. And he's like, well, if we haven't like thought about it for the past 7 years, we probably could just pitch the box. And I'm like, no, we can't, because I'm pretty sure we're both a little bit, well, I know for sure that he's got ADD, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I'm not ADD or ADHD, I am slightly autistic. And it's like, so we doom box, both of us. You know, even if I'm not autistic, I doom box anyway. And so I'm like, no, we got to go in and touch everything in each box. And then like just decide what we're doing with it. And I know this is a big project for both of us, but like we just do one box per day. It doesn't have to be fast. So, and then I gotta do the same with the kids' closets, which was a little bit easier because it's just the stuff that they've grown out of for clothes. But it's like I've been keeping like boxes for them of clothes that like I remember them in outfits specifically. So, like my eldest has a pair of overalls that have sweet peas on them, and since that's their like nickname, well, it's the nickname for both of them, but the eldest wore them first. They get like, that is something in their like box and that I'll keep for them, sort of thing. So, but for the past little bit, I've just been throwing their clothes in the closet, and so now it's like, okay, gotta go in and just sort out what we're keeping and like what gets put into the giveaway eventually pile, because we're not giving anything away yet. We have friends that may have children, so I'm like, okay, we can hold on to it for the next like few years. Although realistically, I think it might be time to move some of it out of the house. I don't know. Well, that's exactly it. That's something we gotta chat about. Like, are we gonna keep this baby stuff around for a little bit longer just in case, or are we going to like move it out of the house and get it going here? Because it is starting to take up quite a bit of space. And some of it I'm very happy to keep around a little bit longer, and some of it's like, okay, do we actually need all these boxes of clothes? And part of it too is like they've already been handed down to us. I don't feel bad about like actually passing them on, because they're still in really good shape. Basically, the hand-me-downs that we got supplemented what we were able to purchase as well. So there's a nice balance. But yeah, no, we gotta touch everything in all the boxes. And the other portion of this is then it can, like, even that factor will just help us pack it down smaller. Even if we don't get rid of anything, it's like at least touching it and like determining it means that then we can sort it into the boxes that needs to be, because doom boxing it means that there's usually no rhyme or reason to it either. So, and I know there's stuff in there that it's like I kept for a little while and now it's like, no, I don't want to keep it anymore. A lot of stuff from like my parents, and I'm like, no, I'm good now. I can like, but at the time I wasn't. Or at the time I was just mentally tired and I'm like, nope, not dealing with this. Let's just put it in a box. So. And I don't really need solutions for this. I just know we need to do it. I know that there's lots of things like put a timer on, and sometimes that works. Sometimes just doing the whole elbows deep thing, get it done, works. And we'll have to decide what our energy level is at the time, I guess. I think that, no, it's a little bit too deep. Nope, that's the right depth for the exterior. It's not the right depth for the interior, but the interior is a little bit of a generous cut. So there we go. Turn. Okay, so these are not exactly the chain piecing friendliest, but I'm making it work. We're all good. We're actually almost done. There's like 6 more, so that's not bad. So yeah, the pinch point on these is the Velcro. So like the second step. It's like, would you like an easy project? There are no easy like projects. Sorry. Would you like a fast project? Joke's on you, there are no fast projects. That's what it is. This is an easy project. There are no zippers involved. There's not like any complicated corners or swoops or dips or anything like that. But it's still not fast. Oh well, these will all be super fun. Then I gotta decide how I want to package them. Maybe I should do more belly bands like I did for the planner pouches. That'd be kind of cute, except I don't know how I'd keep them on them. I'll figure it out. I got 2 weeks. That's plenty of time. No. Yeah, no, not really. Back 1 stitch, turn, and stitch again. Turn again. Yeah, and when I say we also need to do the storage room, it's because we still have boxes packed from like our move 7 years ago, because neither of us was in the headspace to deal with them in the interim. So yeah, that's where we should probably start there. I also need to go through my closet because there's some stuff in there that I'm just never going to wear again. I did pull some stuff the other day. Very gentle, like, nope, definitely not wearing this. Nope, definitely not wearing this. And now the next question is, some of it I do want to consign or like sell simply because it was a higher dollar value amount, like item. Like I have a really nice pinup girl clothing dress that I just don't wear enough. So I may as well go to a new loving home. So that's something that I'll probably put for sale, probably on Marketplace. Well, I don't always have the best luck there, so I'm like, maybe consignment. Although I don't think any of the shops in this area are like a good fit for that. So I'll figure it out. It's just one more thing. So that's why a lot of this is going to wait until after show season. Now, I don't know when my show season exactly is going to end this year, but the current last booked show is October 19th for Shindig. So probably want to do something for like New Year's Eve, New Year's cleaning like the Japanese. Well, I guess this will be more intensive than New Year's cleaning. So most of the time they'll clean their whole house for like New Year's. Get all the bad energy and like dust of the old year out is the idea. At least that's my understanding of the idea of it. And I really like it. But this would be more intense than that. Especially because we need to go through actually the garage as well. But first step is the storage room, because a lot of the stuff that is like, there's stuff in the garage that needs to come in, but we need to organize the storage room before it can come in, sort of thing. Not lots of stuff, but there's a few things that need to not be outside. And soaking up the lovely exhaust fumes of sitting in the garage, right? So, yeah. All right, last luggage handle to sew. And then we'll be moving on to the wallets. Turn. One more stitch. No, we're good, I think. Yeah, we're good, actually. Turn. Down, 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 down. Turn. And yes, I do still have those drawstring bags to do as well. Those just require a lot of ironing, so I'm going to work on them when I iron the... So the next two things that need to be ironed are the small box bag handles and the small box bags themselves once the zippers are in. So we will iron and prep the reversible drawstring bags then. Just so I don't have to, like, it'll just be an ironing day. That's all we'll do for that day. All right, so these are all ready. We will trim in between each of these, and then I'm probably going to trim down the little edges here. I don't know, we'll decide that later. But those are to the point of, let's move on to the next stuff. I hope that was thread. Something floating through my line of vision. All right. A little bit more coffee. So now some of these, most of these ended up with being able to be matched up with a pocket that matched the exterior, but not all of them. Oh yeah, like, so here's actually some more handles. Oh, criminy. Okay, well, yeah, that's a handle, and I think this is a handle as well. So that's where some of that extra Velcro. I am going to ignore these for now. I know that's a terrible habit of mine, but no. Just no right now. All right, but there's two sets. So there is, oh, there's the last two sets of, how did I miss them then? Because I was like, I have 12, and that's what I remember counting in the, whatever. It's all good. It's fine. We will pair these up though so that I don't cut more Velcro later. And then, yeah. Okay, I need into my snap bin. Or clip bin. The snaps are on top of the clip bin. That's why I'm like, snap, snap, snaps. No. I need them to the clip bin because we have a lot more layers to deal with the little card pouches, because they have card pockets. So that's why we'll use some clips for them. I am going to throw these just on top of the clip bin because then they're like in line in my thoughts consistently. Anyway, so here is this. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that these are trimmed down to match. And we're going to need to also cut elastic. So let's actually cut the elastic and then we'll do the next step. I was watching a video of a guy that makes kids clothes the other day, and I was like, what? Because he had he had a screw basically in his work table. He'd throw the elastic down on it and then just use the actual cutting board to the cutting thing to actually, whatever. Blah, my brains. I totally messed up how this was directional. And that is totally not. This is also supposed to be handles. Yay! Okay, I don't have Velcro cut for them. That is the wallet. This is the wallet. But yeah, I wasn't thinking about this is how it's going to look. I was thinking it was directional this direction. So it's like that. Now I'm like, oh no, these are all turned around. Oh well, it's still going to be cute. And not a big deal except for the ones that are actually directional. Although that makes this one better then. Definitely some cat love on these, sorry. Not really. Quality control inspectors are present. Yeah, okay, but these are still going to be adorable. All right, so let's trim down the twill in the back here so that it matches up. We'll grab the pockets and we'll get it all clipped together and then blah, 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 blah. Lots of words to say, nothing. I'm going to just check in with Dallas to find out when we're thinking dinner's going to be. Hang. All right, there we go. Yeah, so dinner around 5:30. Hi, sweet pea. This is Dahlia. Say hi. She's like, sure, I'm out of here now. Mostly because Mama's is sending me away. Okay. There's to that. And then, yeah, so what we're going to do is the same as what we've done in the past in that these are now going to be trimmed down to match the exterior that they're getting sewn to, because it's all fun and games to have it cut to the pattern pieces, and obviously I much prefer that. But then there's the reality of these are what actually need to get sewn together. So let's trim down to this, basically. There we go. And then we'll cut the... now, elastic should always be stretched out before you cut it, because sometimes, especially with fold-over elastic, it bounces back. And so you don't want that happening after you've sewn something. All right, in this case, I actually intentionally left the selvage in there. So now that I'm going to manually zoom you back here, because we are now working on the cutting surface again, or on the sewing. This is not actually a cutting table, but it seems like I use it just as much as my actual cutting table some days. Anyway, what we'll do is match them up right sides together. And then I just take my shears and cut it down. Could I use a rotary cutter? Yes, but then that would involve me having to go get a cutting mat. And as much as I joke that this is the cutting surface, this is not the cutting surface. This is the refining surface. And our shears work just fine. Will I complain that my hand is sore later? Probably. Will that be a cat problem? 100%. Now some of it's not so bad because it's like whatever. Obviously, I can make up for that in the actual sewing of the seam, and we can trim it down later as well. But some of it is a little bit too egregious. Now, I am cutting these a little bit wide, like longer, which is fine too. And then we're just going to sew around it. What it basically guarantees for me is that I've definitely got elastic in both of the sides. That's what I'm more concerned about than actually having I'm more concerned about there being enough to go in, or that there be too little and we don't have enough to sew into the actual like wallet or card holder. This is a card holder. So the idea of this being that you can either use it for like a business cards, or you can use it for actual like credit cards. And like my thought process is I want a slim little card wallet because I don't want to carry my, oh my goodness. Sorry, Dahlia came up and now there's like, anyone who says that short cats don't shed or don't shed as much as long hair cats has never met a short hair cat versus a long hair cat. Flynn gets massive mats and stuff like that, but that's the thing. He contains his hair on his body. And if I comb him regularly, which he hates, he wouldn't even get the mats. Dahlia, on the other hand, just whoof, everywhere. So there's cat hair everywhere right now. And apparently fabric dust probably flying. Anyway, my thought process on these little card holders is I want a smaller, like slim card holder for those times when I'm like, I don't need to carry my big wallet for all the things. So this will fit better in stuff like the purse that I'm carrying and things right now. Or hell, even in my pocket would mean that the stuff is like less slippery in my pocket. All of that jazz. Cat hair, what you gonna do? And if you came here looking for project bags today, I'm sorry, but not really. I am trying to expand it to a little bit more of an everyday use objects and stuff like that. And so I was thinking about this the other day, kind of like lightning struck me that this may be a good option for a lot of people, is actually like a card holder like this, both business wise and then personal use too. Mostly obviously gearing towards personal use right now in the shows that I'll be doing in the next little bit. So we'll get these all prepped, and then I gotta sort out the actual the things. Pockets. That's what I need to worry about, is pockets next. Some of these, like I said, the majority of them ended up with matching pockets to the exterior, so Japanese fabric pockets, but I think 3 or 4 of them ended up with a non-matching fabric. Speaking of which, this is definitely one of them. There's the navy Japanese there. Alright, I guess that's the other thing. I was like, I can just like hang out with the kids in the morning and then I'll come downstairs and I'll start sewing. But I just remembered that I do actually have a run tomorrow. So I guess that's something I'll have to do in the morning before it gets stinking hot. So, because that is the thing. Yeah, it's like 31 degrees here for us today. It's like, oh boy. For us, that is ridiculously hot. Although it does mean that tonight it'll be glorious on our deck. So, and I'll just make sure to go for my run tomorrow morning before it heats up like this. So, be prepared. Okay, I think this is one of the other ones where I don't have pockets. We are actually nearly to the end of what I need to trim down. And actually, I think this one doesn't have any like lining. I think I gotta go get a lighter lining for it. So I'll throw it on the actual handles here and then we'll deal with it later. Okay, I think that one's got pockets, potentially, hopefully. This one's already been trimmed down. And yes, I know it's a light colored fabric, but we're just going to use black for all of these because it looks classy. It'll be a nice contrast against the bunnies. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Not because I don't know where the white is that I have right now, which is the true story of all this. I haven't kept track of it because, like I said, I didn't have a trajectory for it. So I was like, okay, we'll just amalgamate this into the generalized craft supplies, and then it's like, oh no, I could actually use that now. Damn it. So when I find the white, I will reincorporate it back into the fold, but for now, no. And the majority of these are actually fairly dark fabrics, so I'm not too worried about it either. Oh no, there are a couple more. Oh wait, so where did their lining go? Because there are a couple that I cut in half so that, oh, okay, so these might actually be more handles then, instead of, are you handles or are you wallets? Wallets, okay. I know you're a wallet, and you look like you're probably a wallet as well. Yes. And then it looks like I missed cutting a couple of exterior or lining fabrics. Damn it. Actually, I did. I missed 3. And actually, they're the wrong way anyway because, yeah, they'll get sewn together this way. Damn it. And then the wallet actually goes not that way. Yeah, because that'll be widthwise, and then this is, oh, wait. Those are just wonky anyway. Okay, so I'll have to reassess those ones. There we go. Actually, I think those are pockets now that I measure them. Yeah, there's the actual wallet. So yeah, so I was thinking that they would be facing this direction, when in reality they're going to be facing this direction. So it didn't matter the fact that they were going 2 different directions. Because I fussy cut these to be yeah, now we got the directional print. No, we don't. Oh well, they'll still be adorable, but I don't have lining for them. So it's well, that's kind of a moot point right now. Anyway, then. All right. And then the 5 that I've got on my lap right now are definitely wallets. And then, okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to just cut all of the, what did I say, 6? Okay. I'm just going to cut all the fold over elastic that I need right now. Then I don't have to keep pulling it off the roll. I'm going to cut a bit more because realistically, in some of these cases, more is better. Better is more. More is better, especially in the case of fold over. So, got 1. I don't know why I'm not using my short little ruler here, because that's what it's for. And we can totally do that. Okay. 2. And of course I dropped it. All right. 3. 4. Now we're just going to cut this last one in half because that'll be 5 and 6, and we're done, done, done. Done, done, done. Done, done, done. Done, done, done. Okay, so there's all of those with their fold over elastic. Now we got to go in and we got to find the pockets for all of these and then clip the pockets into the things. Now, this one and that one are both messed up right now, and I need to still get them lining pieces. So just two. Two of them are out of the running for today. That's fine. This red one got pressed while I was in the studio, so it's super easy to get sorted out here. And we're gonna flip it. Apparently I didn't trim these ones down yet. Shame on me. All that. Go. Trim. Trim. All right, now I'm going to look at the actual pattern here to see what she suggests for and how to do it. Okay, so it's supposed to be right sides together, easy. Pin the fold over elastic to the front of the wallet, outside piece. Okay, 1 inch from the end. Okay, and then the rest of this is extremely straightforward. Excellent. All right, so we're going to go in here and we're going to do, okay, yeah. This is flippin' adorable. I love this fabric. I'll be sad to see it, well, I will be both sad and very happy to see it gone because it has been around for a while. It is ready for its new home, all that jazz. Okay, so now I'm just gonna base stitch this down so we don't have to worry about it, because then I don't have to worry about it. Baste it to the exterior. Because that is the one drawback to having that much excess elastic, is the fact that I can't really clip it. Go. And now what we're going to do is we are going to clip it down, because now this will also still get sewn into the actual like thing. All right, so in this case, maybe the solution would be to just have it the same width. But anyway, so now the folded edge goes in this direction. Now the question becomes, do we want this as the exterior piece? Oh, I like the little fishies. I like the little koi right there. And I think this side actually still, yeah, has that print like this. And now we go in with this. I think she wants you to base stitch this down as well, but no. I'm going to actually fold and get the center line here, because I do think that's going to be important. Just to square everything up and make sure that we're like decently lined up at least. Doesn't have to be perfect, but lined up well enough. All right, so there's the lines. These are not straight on that line. There we go, now they are. And then this goes on that line. There we go. All right. And now I am actually going to just stitch this, because why not? Just want to get it done. All right, we're going to start. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's actually do it from this side. What does she suggest? She suggests the sides, but that doesn't feel right, because, well, I guess, yeah, then I couldn't catch the like pockets very well though, so we're not going to do that. Okay, and then we're going to turn. I'm going to backstitch over that elastic and then also the card pocket top, just to give it a little bit extra oomph. Never hurts it, unless it's leather. leather. You don't want to do this because the more holes you put in leather, the more likely it is to tear. So there we go. 1, 2. 1, 2. And over the elastic, we're going to double back stitch over that as well. Then we're going to turn. There. Now, I'm going to turn this one and just make sure that this is actually what I want it to be before we commit. I know I've committed to cutting a lot of these, but you know, let's actually turn it and see that it's going to come out the way that I was thinking it's going to come out. I'm going to trim all these corners because it feels like it's important in this small of piece to have these trimmed down. I think we're going to leave all those seam allowances because that's going to allow a little bit more strength as well. This does get top stitched as one of its last steps. Turn this out, turn this out. Ooh, that's what I can use for, because I was like, what am I going to do for all those little square bags? But I can use the twill. The twill would give the bag a nice body without being like overly heavy. I like how I'm totally doing this so that I can use up the twill. And now I'm like finding different ways. I'm probably going to have to order more twill eventually. Oh well. So's the life of a maker and a sewist. So goes your life. All right. Push the corners out like this. I do think these are probably going to end up having to have an iron just because the twill is a little bit heavier than the exterior. Oh, that's cool because so these were cut from the same piece, so that green flower almost looks like it like basically just wraps around. That's super fun. Actually, I think they probably were cut from the same piece. Okay, I'm trying to get this pressed out here nicely. Even if it's rounded, that's fine, but just even basically. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, yeah, this is definitely going to need a press, but then it just basically folds over, and then this becomes the actual holder, and so it holds it together, and there's your nice little card wallet. And obviously it will be a lot more sturdy once the cards are actually in it. This might need a little piece of like cardstock for display so that it slip a piece of cardstock in there, or like even it'll probably actually what I'll do then is just slip a business card in there. I just realized I don't have, there's no real way of putting a label in these, and I don't want to. They're cute as it is, nice and straightforward and simple. Okay, let me just see. I think I've got yes, I do. Oh, get out of the way. Okay, good. Got my Costco card here. Let's just see if that fits in there. Yeah, there we go. It's actually quite a good size, very generous. And you put that over top and you're good to go. Nice. So super cute. And then you can use it for like business cards or like I said, like credit cards or whatever cards you want. Okay. So now that I know that that is going to be happy making and fairly straightforward, that was definitely easier than the luggage stuff. Let's get in for the rest. I've wiped my face because cat hair. Ugh. Okay, now I think what we're going to do is we're going to just go in and we're going to finger press all of these pockets so that they're just ready to go in a nice little pile, and then we're ready to go. Okay, you're just wider. That is fine as long as you're tall enough. Yes. Yeah, you're good. Okay. All right. So that one probably there. Some of these are directional prints, so you'll make sure that the directionality is so that they point up when the wallety thing is open. So in this case, that the Shibas are right ways up here. Right ways up here as well. Then we're going to take the ruler and we're going to press it without having to turn an iron on because I do not feel like ironing right now. Oh, do I have two of the I don't even remember having one of the Shibas. Do I have two Shiba exteriors? Or is one of these, wait, what is going on? That's right width. Oh, did I cut them in? Yeah, I cut them smaller so that they could be sewn together so that they were the right direction. And look at that, now they're not the right direction anyway because they're gonna be sideways. But they also do not have an exterior, or an interior. So let's put those up there along with all of those. There we go. And then the same thing for the hedgies. Oh man, I really messed up and missed a lot of lining. Okay, well, no point in doing those right now. Okay, I did have these guys. I remember seeing Sassy Cat, little black cats, waiting. And then we definitely have cosmetic cats. I am still extremely ready for a nap. Well then. Okay, so there's a little bunny there. Good. And then this one has little bunnies everywhere. So there we go. That one will go up. Okay, there's the other cosmetic cat. Cosmetic cat. And in this case, I think we'll put it that direction. Pandas. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Look at that. Mama bear, baby bear. Or I could do the bamboo eating side. I think mama and baby should be the ones that face out. Red pandas. Will it work out? No. So let's do this guy as the pocket forward facer. And that one, which is upside down, but that'd still be adorable. Where's the other panda piece? Just haven't done the panda folds. Oh yeah, there. Now so we've got mama and baby up on one side, and then we can have the bamboo eater up on the other side, which is awesome. There we go. And then, oh, there's the other peach temari. Cats. Good. We get a black cat up on each side, which is awesome. Popcorn cats. Salt. Oh, look at that. Too good. Too good. All right, so we did have a couple that I don't have the interiors cut for, so those will go into timeout. Well, 4 of them. 5 or 6 actually. So I think I'll go in and I'll cut interiors for those. Oh, that was the wrong way to fold that. Tonight, sometime, off camera. I just want to go get it done. And then we'll have those ready to sew as well. Am I doing this to avoid sewing small box bags? 100%. Is that what I should be sewing since Knit City is like 3 weeks away? Also, yes. Am I? Obviously not. But you know what? These will be really, 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 really good for Omatsuri. And actually, do you know what? Probably Market Mall too. Yeah. Oh, those are like almost identical. That's actually awesome. I love it. Okay, the Mod Sakura. That'll be how it looks on the pockets. That looks really good. Okay, and then the come hither cats. I call them come hither cats because they're looking back over their shoulders and showing their butts off. So it's like, come hither. I'm a cat. Come hither. I don't know. I don't know what goes through my head half the time. That's what's going through my head with these fabrics though. So spread the joy. Okay, I'm going to do one where it's the butts facing, and then I'm going to do one where it's the other cat's facing. Although I think I like the other side with the duck a little bit better. There we go. Okay, that is apparently an extra piece. All the blue ones need to be folded because they go with the bandana cats and the Japanese print. So this is the Japanese print pocket right here. Japanese print pocket right here. Go. Just finger press it. And then these are for the bandana cats. This is actually an Indonesian batik. Just a nice accent piece for these, which is awesome. And also I wanted a good contrast with the twill. I could do black twill pockets, really. It doesn't matter. But I wanted the contrast of the quilt cotton to like stand out against the twill. So that's why we're here. Doing what we're doing right now. Okay, so this pile is saying that I do actually have 2 of the come hither cats, but I obviously only have 3 pockets, so I don't know where the 4th pocket went, so we're just going to ignore the 1 extra. We're not supposed to be doing duplicates right now anyway, because we are in complete show crunch and shouldn't be doing duplicates as it is. All right, so it says right sides together. And then we need to go in. In this case, there's not as much elastic, so I'm just going to go in and clip it, and then we will go in and sew it later. Just get this step done. And actually, the clip is long enough to do that for me anyway, so not a big deal, really. I could also use pins. I could also clip the elastic down, but you know. Why would I? Go. I do think. Oh no, that's good. Okay. Sweet. And then this was come hither cats. Just gonna grab the come hither cats out of the pile. And then raw edge to raw edge with the twill. Actually, I do kind of need to. Oh, okay. This one is too wide by quite a bit. So we'll trim that down to the pocket width once we get the other one on here. Ding, ding. Justify it to the left side here. Obviously not as much of a disparity on this side. Just on the other side. Alrighty, interesting. Ding, ding. And then we'll go in and actually not worry about it. We're just gonna, okay. Next time I will cut the fold over elastic to the right length because apparently that does matter. Could I baste it on again? Yes, I'm going to. I prefer just to clip it down and sew it once. I love sewing, but I don't want to do more of it than I need to. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's get it clipped here with the pocket, and here with the elastic, and here at the top of the other pocket. And then, oh, why is this so short then? Okay, let's see if this jiggles it down by doing that. No, not really. Interesting. Those are 2 very different cuts. All right, so I'm going to justify the... no. We're going to justify the pocket to the the exterior, that seems like the right decision because then that would be, yeah. Okay, so basically rather than lining the pocket up with the exterior or the interior, line the pocket up with the exterior because that will create a straighter stitch and a straighter pocket than lining it up with the interior, obviously, because the interior does not match the exterior. This is why I was supposed to trim everything down before I clipped it together, and look at where we are now. That's okay. All right. One ready to go. Okay, and then just making sure that there's no YouTube. I'm going to turn that off so I don't sew myself. Just making sure there's no YouTube comments that I'm missing because of sometimes they don't come through. Oh my God. This is my favorite cat on this fabric. This guy right here with the googly eyes and the little flower necklace. That look reminds me every single time of Remy. So. Okay, so there's the pockets for that one done. And then let's go in and make sure these are trimmed down and that the fold over elastic matches. Do, 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 do. Okay. Trim it down on one side here, and then it's not even, so we're going to trim it down on the other side as well. Across the top here. Clip, 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 clip. And then there's a little bit of disparity here. And then make sure that that's actually, it's not right sides together. This is twill, so it's definitely got a right side and a wrong side that you can tell without having to be like, is it shiny? And then this needs to be trimmed down right here. Clip. Excellent. Okay, so first things first, we need to put the pockets, well, I guess we could have done the elastic first, but we're going to do pockets first this time, apparently. I don't make the rules, I just do things here. Should I be making the rules? Maybe. Am I? No, that's fine. And ding, and then this needs to go here. Now the pattern does say to actually baste all of this down. I understand why. If you baste it down, you're less likely to end up with like stuff wandering, basically. I am not. Simple as that. It's just not happening. So just so you know, the pattern does call for you to baste it. I understand why, because you don't have as many like layers that can just kind of wander off and do their own thing. But as I said, it's just whatever. Here we are. I'm notorious for like winging it. I'm adding new things to my like stock. Frickin' 3 weeks before Knit City. Yeah. I'm obviously not going to add. I'm not going to follow the pattern exactly. Oh. Okay, that is not enough of a disparity between the two that I'm going to worry about it. I'm going to clip this here, and I'm going to clip it on this side, and then we're good to go under the machine when we're ready to sew it. All right, what's next? Another one. So this is actually the same fabric, but the print of it is so large that it looks like it's a different fabric in some ways. And this one says, wanna be a TV star. This is another one of those, what I call narrative fabrics. These cats haven't shown up as much recently, but in the time periods before the vid, when I was there, I definitely saw them on this fabric, and then they also were on a fabric of like, I want to be a computer geek. So yeah, they were definitely like I don't know, maybe that was the end of the narrative fabric for them, but this is like, I want to be a TV star. So, I don't know. I don't know what happened to these cats, but they're super cute nonetheless. Zip and clip. Good. And then clip here. And clip here. There we go. And this is another one of those batik sets. Is this the right side? This is the right side. Clippy, clippy, clip. Clip. And turn. And clip and clip. And then we'll throw this on top here. Gently, obviously. Clip all the layers together. This is like the one that like lines up the best. What the heck? Alrighty, well, that's good too. Clip and clip. And actually I'm gonna flip these ones. I need to remember this, that way, and then we'll go on a turn and clip and pull and clip. And there's another one ready to go. So how many do we have? We got 3 done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So it means we'll have 14 finished. Apparently this one also does. Oh, right. This one had half pockets. So I'm going to throw that over there because it's probably in the cutting room. And actually what I should do is I should sew those pieces together at least so that they're ready to go once I actually got them twill cut. So we will do that maybe when we actually get these under the machine. All right, I'm just trimming this down before I clip it because why not? Oh my goodness. So I guess it's like, no, that wouldn't affect this count because things and numbers. Okay. All right. That will actually face this way, and then these are going to go this way. Go. Clip and clip. And this way. Clip. And clip. Then we'll clip this in at the line that she wants. Just actually right there, here. And where would the line be? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it on this side because then it will only, like it's not, yeah, that's gonna make more sense because then when it folds, when it comes to hold it all together, it's gonna go like right in between these two sakura. And it'll look really good. Okay, and then try to get this fold over is like slightly curved, and so it's just like, all right, sit flat, please, and straight actually is the big thing right now. Okay, there we go. There we go, and I put them upside down technically, because then when we flip it over like this, everything is facing the same direction. Okay. Clip and clip and clip, 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 clip. Grab another handful. So how many more? Like 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 need to be sewn together and need twill. Okay. Yeah, so that, because that would put us around 18, which I think is the number that I had when I was like, came out of the sewing studio. But apparently I didn't cut enough twill. Because why would I cut enough twill? The other thing I could do is I could like pilfer some of the duplicates, but nah, we're not going to do that. Okay. The lining is the right length, the exterior is not. So let's trim the exterior down to the lining, like that. And then the lining, get some bunnies. Bunnies. Let's just see what we got here. Okay, let's do one that's got more sakura here. Both have like a for sure bunny. Blah, blah, blah. It'll be good. This one is crooked. Just a little bit. Let's get that sorted here. So I'm going to line up the side seams instead of anything else. There we go. That looks better. Okay. And then I'm going to put it bunny side out. And I'm going to line up the bases here is what I'm going to do. And then we'll trim down that little bit of excess probably. Line up, line up, line up. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Clip. Done. And clip this in, and then we'll clip the elastic to this. And like I said, this is one of the places where I would typically use white, but no. The black is nice and classy, and I don't actually know where the white is. So we're just going to go with what I have on hand. Okay, now I'm not doing it so it flips onto this side because of that bunny right there. So this will be kind of like the back of this wallet, even though it's basically really isn't directional very much. Okay, I'm going to line up the shorter side of that, clip down the top here, and then I'll make sure that it's, yeah, clip the top, there we go. Then make sure it's still lined up where it needs to be, perfect. And clip at the top here, turn it around, goes into the scrap bin. And this goes right here. Ding. All right, and then clip everything into place to start sewing. Well, not yet. Still not to the sewing part yet. We're just in the prep stage right now. Looking at this, I think I'll probably get everything clipped before dinner. We just discussed dinner, but dinner's gonna be about 5:30. So I'll get everything clipped together, and we'll also get, maybe we'll get those pieces sewn together actually that need to like be sewn together because I screwed up how exactly this looks. And then yeah, I'll do that off camera though. Okay, so do we do different or do we do matchy-matchy? I feel like doing matchy-matchy just because I think that's really amazing that they did match up that close. Although the back of this one's pretty cool. If I did the back one, I do this, that one, and this one. I think the matchy-matchy is better though. Mostly matchy-matchy, I guess. Yeah, like that. Not very often that I'm able to get a matchy-matchy set for anything, so let's lean into it a little bit, I guess. Okay, time to drink the rest of that coffee. There we go. Do I? Or do I want this? No, that's boring. I want that little bow. Never mind. I want that little bow. Okay. Pocket. Pocket. Exterior. Going to trim down the elastic that little bit. It's actually not that much extra here, which is nice. There we go. And then I want it to go from here, and then it'll like line up there. Yeah. Well, apparently there's more than I thought. Oh well. It's okay. Ding, ding. Put it on technically upside down. Technically upside down, but then we flip it and the clips are right side up. Ha ha ha. Okay. There's gonna be a lot of black top stitching. Actually, so yeah, so we will save the ironing and the tops. So we will sew all of these, and then we will turn all of these, and then we will wait. And we'll iron everything along with the small box bags that I am supposed to be working on instead of this. But inspiration struck for this. And so that's why, you know what, I haven't run with a lot of inspiration has struck moments this year. So we're going to just satisfy my itch to do that and do it. Again, I don't make the rules. I'm just here for the ride, apparently. Plus with Omatsuri coming up as well, which is more, it's less of a niche market. Well, it is not a niche market as in knitters and crocheters. It is a niche market that is a Japanese market. But it's not really it's more of like an everyday use items market. And so having more everyday use items will be to my benefit is what I'm hoping. There we go. Again, lots of words to say very little. All right, so we could can go right over top there, or it could go right over top of, actually it would expose that one, but I feel like this is the better side to sew it on anyway. Yeah, that's good. Okay, we don't need to trim this one down, we're good there. Upside down technically. Upside down technically. And flippy flip. And pop it on. Clip. And clip. I am still very ready for a nap. I said I even slept well last night. I must have like, yeah. Probably because I have a terrible sleep schedule and Dallas isn't home. And then I didn't sleep well the last few nights. So it's like, ugh. Drag. It's also one of those sneaky ones, I think, too, because it's like there is enough smoke in the air that's probably impacting our sleep quality. But there's not so much that you really notice it. So it's like, that could be part of it, too, actually. Go. There we go. Up. All right. There's some Flynn love on there. Try not to get cat hair on too much stuff, but it's kind of inevitable. I'm gonna put it on this side so that it doesn't block anything by going on this side. The elastic. Anyway. Blah 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 blah. That is cut exactly the right height. So here we go. Clip it on. Clip upside down. Clip upside down. Okay. Good. And then we've got the two pockets here to go in. So if you're new here, my name is Katie. This is Atelier Nekozuki. And my specialty is making bags and accessories out of Japanese fabrics. I go to Japan and source them in Tokyo and Kyoto. And then I come back and I make everything in my studio in Cochrane, Alberta. So I'm like halfway between Calgary and Banff, basically, or Calgary and Canmore might be the better descriptor. I was an exchange student in Japan during university. So I'm familiar with Kyoto, Osaka, because I was at Kansai Gaidai, which is it's literally halfway between Kyoto and Osaka, like on the train system. It's 40 minutes either direction. And when I started making bags, there weren't a lot of like project bag makers, and first a knitter. Originally, I was actually trying to sell my knit items, which is not it's really hard to make a living knitting. I think it always has been. So I started sewing instead, and it's still like not easy, but it is definitely more sustainable and has been more money into the bank, which thank you. I'm glad everyone likes the products. And but I was a knitter, and I was like, okay, I should start making project bags. I started making project bags. There weren't a lot of project bag makers in Alberta. There's a few of us scattered around kind of thing. And then suddenly there was a lot of us. And I went, okay, so what can I do to like make myself unique? Because obviously there's only so many ways to fold fabric. And I went, I can't find cute cat fabrics in Canada, North America, and especially not in quantities that were like under the wholesale amount of like 15 meters, which is a lot of fabric. Like that's my lining quantities of fabric. So I went, I bet you, with my exchange experience, Japan has cute cat fabrics. And lo and behold, 100% Japan has cute cat fabrics. And the rest is kind of history. Well, I guess not. So I originally was importing, or purchasing at least, and importing through Etsy sellers, but that turned out to be also like fairly expensive and unsustainable in some ways, because when my husband and I went back for his first trip, I was already making the project bags. I'm like, okay, if we're here, we got to look at like the possibility that like what is the cost if I was to go to Japan and cut out that middleman of buying on Etsy. Obviously, 100% they deserve that payment. It is a lot of work to curate and purchase and go home with the fabrics. It feels like what they were basically doing was running an online fabric shop. So they were probably working with wholesale amounts, but like there's still a lot of work involved in that. So like I do not begrudge them the money, but going and purchasing it myself, there's a lot of benefits. Like I can go and I can touch the fabric, determine the like weight of the fabric. When Caroline and I were there in May last year, there was a lot of fabrics that I really liked, but they were too thin. And like you can't necessarily always like have an accurate color translation on screen and all of that. So that's why it's like, it's cheaper for me to go. Oh no, the horror of having to go back to Japan. That is sarcasm. 100% is not a chore. Well, it is, but it isn't. No, it's not a chore. What was I trying to say about that? It's not a horror. There we go. Yeah, it's just like it's worked out really, really, really well overall. I'm going to stop there. Also, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth, apparently. But, yeah, here we are. Started with cat fabric. Stayed for a bunch of the other prints, basically. And now also working on upcycling like kimono and obi and all of that too. So this pattern would actually be really fun. Some of the kimono and the obi, I think. That needs to be trimmed down. Scooting. Next trip is looking like it's going to be 2026. I'm going to go try and run the Kyoto Marathon. It's got a 6-hour time cutoff. So I'm aiming to be able to run a 5-hour marathon before that point. And then, because that'll give me a nice big buffer. My last marathon was 6:45. I think at this point I could run a 6-hour marathon. But you know what? Having an extra hour buffer will be fabulous. I was so close to signing up for 2025 though, because I was just like, it was so easy. All I had to do was sign up for like an account. And then it was just like, yeah, do you want like a custom bib? Fuck yes, of course I want a custom bib. And I think they katakanize it for you. So it's just like, they'll do it. So I didn't even have to think of like what my katakana would actually be. And then what was the other thing? It was like, do you want a 1 cup, I think? There's a couple other questions. But it was literally that, and it's like, okay, give us money. So it's like, cool, this is like super easy. But yeah, 2026, and then the kids will come. I don't think, okay. I could do the training. I probably am under a 6-hour marathon now, but I am burnt out from the training. I'm currently training for a half marathon, and I'm just like, oh my God, why did I sign myself up for a half marathon? It's been a long year of training right now, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm at the end of my limit for training, I think, right now. I'm ready to the goal for the winter, current trajectory. And if you don't want to hear about the running, I am sorry. Realistically, it's like I work, I raise my kids, and I run. There's not even very much knitting right now. Although I do think I'm still going to, after Knit City, I am going to gauge swatch and cast on for the calligraphy cardigan by Hannah Fettig. I have the yarn for it. It's one of the first cardigans I knit, and I knit it too tight in the upper arms. Actually, I should try on my old one because I've lost weight in my upper arms. Anyway, still want to knit it again though, because I've got an absolutely spectacular color of West Yorkshire spinners from one of my trips to Victoria. So having a second one is not going to be a hardship anyway, even if the other one does fit me better now. I don't think it will though, because I've got fairly large upper arms. So I just need to figure out what size of raglan I need to do, and then and also I want to add a little bit of length to it, because at the time I didn't know that I have a long torso, and so I just need to add everywhere basically, just a little bit. Anyway, for the running, so it's my next run is September 9th, then I'm done. I'm done the training. I do have another one on September 22nd, which is the wild run. The one on September 9th is a half marathon. So that's 21.1 kilometers or 13.1 miles. And then the other one is the wild run in Calgary on September 22nd. And that is a 10 miler or about 16, almost 17 kilometers. And then after that, it's just what is called bridging. So between that and whatever I'm doing next. And the next thing I'm wavering if I'm going to actually sign up for the half marathon in Calgary, although I said that I wasn't going to, and then I got really sad. So I think what it is I'm going to sign up for the half in Calgary in May, but nothing before that. And then everything else next year is going to be 5Ks. And by everything else, I mean Stampede Road Race. Because I'm going to train for the Victoria Marathon now, and this is part of the thought process on why to wait for Kyoto Marathon until 2026. Besides the fact that I'm burnt out on the training, is that Present Bunny upright or Superhero Bunny upright? What matches the other one, I guess. That's a really good placement, and you get more of it than a Present Bunny. I like the fact that there's cats here too. Nope, Superhero Bunny. Masked bunny with a bow. Yeah, so the thought process is then Royal Victoria Marathon, which is Canadian Thanksgiving weekend in Victoria on Vancouver Island. And we've got people we can stay with out there, so it won't be having to go and rent a hotel room for it or anything. But then basically I'll train for that over the summer when the kids aren't as sick. So I get one full marathon training cycle in, and then I will do another full marathon training cycle before Kyoto, and that should get me within throwing distance of 5 hours. Hopefully, that's the thought process. But in this bridge as well, over this year, I will be doing a lot of strength training and spin and yoga, and just trying to get the other parts of my fitness and physique on board with what we're going to do in the next year, because that's going to be another intense, long training session. And thank goodness for gym memberships with AC, because if next summer is anything like this summer, I will be running a lot of my summer runs on the treadmill. And we got a treadmill in our garage, but our garage is not much better than being outside some days. So, yay. And then we are going to try and also get Dallas into the Osaka Marathon, which is a week after Kyoto. We'll see. I say try. Kyoto Marathon is like first come, first serve. It is going to be so cool. It goes around so many of the historical landmarks in Kyoto. It's amazing. You run all the way out to Arashiyama, which is the big like bamboo forest. And then like, so in some ways I didn't know that Arashiyama was that close to Kyoto. And at the same time, I didn't know that that's how far, like sometimes it doesn't compute just how far you go on a marathon, right? And so it's like, yeah, you go all the way out to Arashiyama and then you come back and then you do a turnaround at Nijo and you go all the way out to Ginkakuji, which is the silver pavilion, not the golden pavilion, the silver pavilion. It's not as exciting. The Kinkakuji is way better. But Ginkakuji is kind of like the cousin to it. Anyway, and all of this, and it's just like, I will, I don't think there's a video of it, but I need to almost like, I think what I'll do is I'll do a blog post on the website and I'll start putting links to stuff that I talk about that don't have videos. And then you can take a look at it if you're curious. But yeah, so it like goes through past all these like historical landmarks, and then it goes past the photo that got me last year, and I'm like one of the photos that got me that I thought was amazing is you run right past this temple. And all the monks were out like cheering the runners on and everything like that. Like, it's just so cool. And then at the end of Kyoto Marathon, you actually end under like the giant, or very close to the giant Torii Gate as well. So that's like super cool too. Anyway. Yeah, just fun overall. I am excited. I do really want to go do it like next year, but I'm like getting to the point of actually hating my training. So I'm like, no, take a break, step back, and get back to it later. Don't burn out on this completely. I've got goals, so I can't burn out on it completely. But like, so winter will be like swimming, which I haven't done a lot of, and spin, which I haven't done a lot of, and yoga, which was one of the things that I really noticed a difference with when I did that 30-day challenge in May. And next May, before the Calgary half, I will not be doing the 30-day challenge, mostly because I really missed the kids, because I was out like every evening. So, but I'll do a proper taper for that half instead, and that should also help my timing on it as well. But I can tell that I'm like burnt out a little bit because I look at the like, so my average times are doing decent versus like my average heart rate and everything like that. But compared to where I was like a month ago, I'm definitely slower, and I'm just like, oh my God. Again, cat problems. But like when you're training for a goal, it's like, oh, I don't want to be getting slower right now. Boo earns. Okay, we got all of these clipped together. I just realized I'm gonna sew these. No, I'm gonna grab the sets that are back here and just see what I gotta do to get them ready. Okay, so there's a couple pockets. Those are all done. Pockets. Pockets. And then these are the cuts for the actual wallet. Okay. And then I think these are the cuts. Yeah, that's the cuts here. And these were the pockets for the, oh no, he's upside down anyway. Oh, damn it. Okay, well, you end up with most of an angry cat, not all of an angry cat. These are what need to be cut in half. Oh well, there's 2 angry cat bodies. 3 angry cat bodies. Oh, okay, I could put them upside down. Should we put them upside down? No, that's not enough. I like him having the front. Just disembodied cats, apparently. I hope no one's just listening to this. I hope you can all hear this. Anyway, there's this little angry apron cat. And I felt so clever because I fussy cut them out. And then I didn't realize that I was going to cut their heads off by folding. Oh, I know what we'll do. They're squares. So I'll fold it in half the other direction so that we end up with these little cats in the right so that you can actually see the cat, because that's the whole point of this print, is seeing the cat. Because otherwise, what's the point? There we go. And since I already screwed up the outsides, oh, this one's still going to be kind of disembodied because he's going to be like in half. Half an angry cat. All right, there we go. The burnt sienna is going to be a very judgy. Okay, so that if you purchase this one, you are bound by duty to put the cards that you don't want to use on this side, because he will judge you every single time you go to use those cards. Just so you know. Okay. Oh, that's as bad. So I was working on the mini traveler slings, and I got to the end of the one with the quilted cats, and I'm like, this one, they went, I'm going to Spain. And I'm like, what do you say? What? It just like popped into my head, and I'm like, have I been sewing too long? Am I actually going delusional? And like, I definitely need to go to bed. But I'm like, yeah, it's just like, it was like, just this sense, like, so if someone's going to Spain, I've apparently got a bag for you. It is set up for traveling. It's got a nice, like, angled pocket on the front for some, like, money. And then it's got a slip pocket for your phone. And then it's got a zipper pocket on the back for your passport, so that everything's, like, against your body when you're traveling. But apparently it is going to Spain. I'm like, okay, sure. All right, so these ones, and I'm kind of disappointed that I messed this up, but oh well, they're still going to be cute. I just, for some reason, in my head, the directionality was not this way, it was this way, so it's just like, oh well. Like I said, still cute. Just knowing that I messed that up. At least I know better for next round. Learning experiences. Plus then you get like an angry frying pan cat here. And an angry spatula cat. Maybe they're both angry because frying pan cat stole spatula cat's frying pan. And frying pan cat's angry because spatula cat has the spatula, I guess. I don't know. They're just so angry looking. There's got to be some sort of story behind it. And if you're like, Katie, you were just saying a lot. Are you saying nothing with a lot of words? Yep. We're just making this up as we go. Oh, well, these hedgies will still be super cute, even if they are not the right direction. Even with this very carefully planned cuts. Oh, boy. Okay, so remember that it is not. Yeah. The pockets are directional in the way that I'm thinking they are. The exteriors are not directional in the way that I'm thinking they are. That's what it is. So I think that actually opens up more options for fabric anyway. Now I do not have the twill for these currently, so I will cut that afterwards. But now these are all together, and we can go in and I can cut the twill to the size of these instead of like, because these should all be the right size now, or very damn close. Yep, the right size. And so I did do my math correctly at least, which is nice. But yeah, oh well, it still looks better probably than not having done that. So annoying. Okay, I'm going to press open these seams, which is not something I normally do, but we're going to do it here because that's going to make this wallet look nicer in this case. And then we're going to trim this down so it's at least squared up to itself. Like this. I could pilfer the twill from the luggage handles I've already cut and am not sewing. Ooh, actually there is a piece here that we can use because it's supposed to go with the come hither cats, but I've only got one pocket for the come hither right now. So there's no point in doing those ones. Or that one at least. So I think I'm going to do angry apron cats to begin with. And the burnt sienna one because that is hilarious. That pocket to me is just way too funny. So normally I do press my seams to one side or the other, but in this case I'm pressing them open because I don't want to have like a frame on either side. So basically if I was to like open this up and press it to this side, that puts this side at an elevation. Same as if I did the other side. But if I just open it up and press it open flat or to both sides, it just neutralizes the seam. And now you've got a nice, no priority given to either side seam. Now I do use that to my advantage in like the kato bags, and I actually do fold them down towards the canvas, in part because I need to top stitch it anyway. And so I want the top stitching to be on the canvas. And in part because that just helps actually kind of, to me, visually, this might not be something you can see on camera, but to me visually when I'm looking at it, it like frames the fabric more than if I were to do a just like open up seam, or, well, an open up seam doesn't work, and doing a seam where it's like, where it, presses up, kind of makes it so that the fabric disappears a little bit into the canvas, and so that's not something that we're aiming for either. Okay, so we're gonna do the sienna cat, and then I will do, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 to cut twill for, and then I think the rest of these are actually for those things, which are things. Oh, we got actually 5 to cut twill for, because the bunnies here also need a twill backing. These are supposed to be those things, luggage handles. Yeah, we've still got 3, 4 more of those, one of which needs Velcro cut for them. That one is done, and all the other ones are done, and then these are pockets. So let's move the pockets down here too. I'm going to open a pop and drink some. Keep hydrated. I guess it's not really, well, it's like one of those ones that tastes like a pop, but it's technically like flavored water, I guess. I don't know. I don't actually know where sparkling ice falls on the spectrum. It's like not bubbly. It's got sweetener in it. So that's why I call it a pop, even though I don't think that's actually the correct term for it. All right. Half disembodied angry cat on this side. That is very crooked, so I'm just going to straighten it out just a tick here. It does look like it might be a little bit too much fabric, so we'll double check that against the exterior. Oh, I wonder if this is supposed to be a... Nope, that is a... Oh, but I don't have any other lining for handles. I don't even have any other handles to make. Okay, so we're going to just stick it out here, but that is too wide, so we'll do that. And then we're going to put angry... Oh, cool. That actually looks really good, because they're like facing each other in some ways. Nice. All right, that worked out better than I could have anticipated. Hi, Delia. How are you? Are you the angry kitchen cat right now? And I'm going to trim these down so that they match. And yes, I'm trimming down the kitchen cat just a tick, because then they fit better. There. Done. And, oh, what? Are you not the right length? The other one was. Okay, just extremely slightly off. Not even like 1/8 of an inch off. So, pop those off. Trim this down because we want the pockets to line up more than anything. Okay, it is the right width of fabric right now, though. That's good. I am going to actually no, we're not going to clip it. I was like, I'm going to clip this on, but no, we're not doing that. Yeah, it's like a 1/2 inch too long. Interesting. There, okay. Now we're ready to go. Now you go in here like this, and that is why I cut to the exteriors and not to a pattern, usually. Depends on what the project is. In this case, where it's just like, here are the measurements, cut these measurements, I definitely cut the interiors and exteriors to the size, to the size of each other, because otherwise you just end up with too much messing around, that's for sure. Okay, so that's spatula cat. So let's put spatula cat on this side with frying pan cat. Go, now clip and clip and stretch just a little. There we go. Happier. And clip and clip and clip and clip and clip. Excellent. All right, now we can go in and sew because I will cut the twill later. Okay, I'm gonna move the turner over there. Clips, go back in the bin for now. And then the pattern does actually call you to do like the opening on the sides here, but I don't think there's enough room to actually do the turn and, well, there is actually. Okay, so let's do it on the side. Basically, it's just like I want to make sure that there's enough room to do the turn and catch the pockets. Because there's no point in doing it there if I don't also catch the pocket edge on the top. So one stitch too far. Okay. Now I do want to also, so we're going to back stitch over top of the elastic, and I'm going to back stitch over the top of the card pocket and the seam opening there. I want to back stitch over the top of the card pocket because that is a high stress area. We'll do the same when I go in and actually do the top stitching too. It's because it like just adds that little bit of stability, extra stability. That's always nice when it comes to like these sorts of things. Okay, no, I think that's too small to do the turn through. So let's, okay. I said that I was going to turn these afterwards, but we're going to turn this one as well and just see if I prefer the bottom turn or the like side turn. I'm going to trim this pocket down because that is a lot of cotton linen all in one spot, as well as twill. So it's like really a lot of decently heavyweight fabrics. Not like insanely heavyweight, but like medium weight. And so you suddenly have like 1, 2, 3, 4 layers all in one spot. It's not going to go very well. Yeah, that's not enough fat. That's not a big enough turning hole. Okay, so we will do, I prefer it on the card pocket like I did on the koi. I'm going to turn it anyway just to get it done so I don't have to struggle with it later, but we will be sewing the rest of these like just sewing them. So ha ha ha. Okay. Turn, 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 turn. Yeah, I shouldn't have to struggle this much to turn this. Considering that there's like no interfacing, there's no zipper, there's nothing going on with it really, except for some stitching. Come on, card wallet, you can do it. It's going to be even hard to get the point turner in here to actually make the corners nice too. So that's another point against the side turn. All right, but it's still getting there. It's just annoying. Also, it does put stress on that seam for the like sewing together of the pieces. So many points against it. Oh, I might have. Oh no, I didn't. Right? No, I didn't. Okay, good. I'm like, I might have put that fold over elastic in wrong, but no, we're good. Yeah, and then there's the other. Okay, so I gotta go back in and fix. Oh, man, that is going to be difficult. All right. Okay, so we've caught everything else. I didn't catch it on this side, on that one. Okay. So yes, definitely the turning, opening. Anyway, how does it look otherwise? So that is good. It'll also look better once we actually have a card in it. But otherwise, yeah. So what I was thinking is that the direction of the wallet would be this way, but technically it is actually this way. So that's kind of annoying, but it actually does work out in terms of the pockets because then the cats are directional here. Okay, so I'm going to pull oh my goodness, if I can get it. But yeah, like this is not enough of a turning area for this actual wallet, especially if there is something wrong. Like this right here. Let's see if I can pull out just that tiny corner and get it stitched down here. Oh yeah, I see. Okay. Might not be flat enough to be able to just do that. So let's try again. Oh yeah, and that twill is not happy. Okay. About being manhandled. Which might actually be a point against it for not having interfacing actually. So let's get you out as little as I can. I don't want to have to turn this whole thing out again. Fine, we'll turn out that much maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, yeah, because that basically catches everything. Okay, so what is missing? It's just like this very top corner here. Oh yeah, I feel it. Okay. Well, apparently another row of stitching is not going to hurt this twill. We will leave a larger seam allowance and not actually trim it down on future ones because eek. Okay, there we go. It's fine everywhere else. Apparently it's just on this like very corner. So it must just be how it's having to be pushed through as well maybe. So yeah, so that again is another point towards the whole turn on the bottom and top stitch it closed. Okay, let's see if I got that better or not. Yes, caught it and I double stitched it, so we're good now. Turn these corners out again. And then we'll go in and this will get ironed before I top stitch it here as well. Again, that will happen not within the next few days because the box bags will need to be ironed as well. So these will get finished except for their top stitching. And they'll get top stitched when they'll be the first thing to get top stitched after they get ironed. So their ironing will happen when I do the small box bag ironing as well. Cute. Okay, still super adorable. Very pleased with how these look. And I think they do have a very good use. Like they'll fill a niche need. Not a super niche need either. Like these would make a really cute little like gift card holder or something like that, I think. Alrighty, so this is what we're going to do instead. We're going to leave the turning opening at the base. Dahlia, what are you doing? Is there a bug? She's just like jumped at the blinds. All right. She's like, pay attention to me. Look at my acrobatics. One more stitch and then turn, pivot, there we go. Okay, and we're just not going to even worry about chain piecing these because I think it's just going to be, given how much work it was with the luggage handles, we're just going with no. Oh, that is quite a bit of extra twill on this as well. Okay, so that's where the elastic is, and it's like okay with the exterior, but the pocket is not reaching the right spot, and I bet you the pocket is the correct width. It is. So I wonder if this was intended to be a luggage handle that I'm trying to turn into a Yup. So which one was supposed to be? Okay, so here's the wallet cuts, it looks like. No, that looks like a luggage handle too. Maybe this back one? Because 2 luggage handles would make sense and 1 wallet. And there's the wallet cut. Or close enough. Okay, so okay. La la la. Brains. Hey Jennifer, how are you doing today? We are working on something that was not on the schedule up until like 2 days ago. So that's how the day is going. Mostly because Flynn also threw us off this morning because Dallas did leave the door open, but the cat totally did like a slip slide out the door and escaped for like 2 hours. It's like that threw most of the day off, to be honest. He is home, but it's just like cat. And he actually wandered quite a ways. Like Remy used to, if he got out, he used to do the same thing. For sure. Anyway, so what I'm working on right now is I'm working on little card wallets / business card holders. So it's very simple, just like nice thing, nice, easy, come together. The issue I'm having right now is that I'm also doing luggage handles covers, and they're basically the same size. So that's why I just unclipped that one, is because it's essentially the same size as the luggage handle cover. These are really cool though, because they'll go over top of the handle on your suitcase and help identify it if you've got like a navy or black suitcase. It makes it a lot easier to spot it in the baggage carousel, basically. So at least that's what I've found, and people haven't taken my bags since I've had them on them, so and I have navy luggage now. I much prefer the bright luggage, but the bright luggage, so it's a trade-off between like light luggage and bright luggage, and light luggage with the amount of weight that I normally save is like 6 to 10 meters worth of fabric across all the bags. So it's like, damn it, I want the bright pink luggage or the bright yellow luggage or whatever, but it's not in the cards right now. Maybe I need to email Samsonite and be like, hey, I want this like extremely light luggage in pink, please, or bright yellow, or chartreuse, or something like extremely obnoxious, so that no one takes my luggage. Thank you. Lime green, orange. Actually, we have that was our original set of international luggage, was orange, a set of Delsey, which actually did really well considering that we took it on like 4 very rapid succession trips to Japan. But it is also like there's no way it could go on a plane anymore. And yeah, and it was definitely like one of those like cheap buy-offs by Air Miles, because that's how I got it, was Air Miles. Anyway, that's what we're doing right now. Should I be working on small box bags? 100%. Am I? Obviously not. And it is actually coming up on dinner time as well. I am expecting Dallas to be like, it's dinner time any moment. So at that point, I will head out for a little bit. It's going to be fairly rapidly also the children's bedtime. And then I'll probably be back on tonight, but not 100% sure. I will be back on tomorrow quite a bit earlier, because I won't have to cut a bunch of stuff, because I won't be quite as distracted by these pieces. and we will actually work on the small box bags. Small box bag work right now involves putting the zip pulls on and putting zip pulls on and installing the zippers and all the related nonsense thereof. Turn. I have already given Dallas a heads up that it's like, honestly, this week was the last week that I can kind of do this hangout thing because it was our anniversary and stuff yesterday. So it's like, okay, now it's time to like, I gotta buckle down. So you'll see me on Thursdays next week. That's it. I don't know. What kind of bags are you looking for? Hi, Wendy. We're not working on bags right now, so I'm not a bag maker right now. This is the accessories part of the business now. Oh, heads up that there will be a shop update here coming up 25th or 26th. I'll announce a little bit closer to, simply because it's like, I know, closer to 5 more days. But I'm still editing stuff. Like, I got the SEO/alt. Like, I got all my photos I'm naming all the photos right now. They're all edited. I need to name them all, and then I'll have to go in and do the upload and all the alt text for them here over the next few days. The best way to find out about shop updates is through the newsletter. I'm pretty sure I've linked that in the YouTube thing. It's definitely linked on my Instagram, and it's just like, go sign up for the newsletter, because then you'll get updates about, shop updates. That's usually the most I email about, to be honest. Shop updates and sales. Also, yes, I am in a hoodie. It's 31 degrees outside, so our AC is working today. And it's still warm upstairs. It's like, holy crap. But of course the basement is like supremely cold. All right, get some snaps out of the way so I'm not knocking all of them off like that. So I've gotten a bunch of the luggage handle things done. Yeah, but these are so much easier to do. A duffel bag is a lot of work, and it's usually a lot of curves. Curves and me are not friends. And then we've got these like little card holders as well. That's what I'm sewing together right now, is the card holder. Because then it's like, so this is it with a card in it, because then you see how it's like quite good. Those will need an iron. We'll do the ironing after I do the small box bag handles and zippers. Yeah, no, I'm not sewing myself a duffel bag. I didn't even sew myself a diaper bag. I actually got it as a baby shower gift. That's better. Okay. Seriously, right? So it's like, I don't know if I can trust a duffel bag pattern either. Plus, if I really, honestly, one of the best travel bags I have right now, and fabric bags, is I have a Deuter trekking backpack. I think it's like 70 liters or something like that. It is meant for those intense overnight, week-long backpacking trips. Whoa. It will never see a trail. What's that? Mama. Yeah? Okay, I think dinner is ready. I'm gonna finish this and then I will go upstairs. One moment. Mama. What's happening? Sorry. Apparently the eldest is getting chased around by the youngest. So I think I'll be back online tonight, but it will be like in a few hours, probably around 9:30 to 10 o'clock my time. So I'll chat with y'all then. And if not then, I will definitely see y'all tomorrow because we're going to get this done in the next couple days and move on to small box bags because Knit City is a grand total of 3 weeks away. I'm not terrified at all. Chat with y'all soon.